Here we go, pile it up. Let's really show them what they're missing.
What's up, guys? My name is Jacksepticeye, and this is Crank Gameplays, and welcome to the Brain League Podcast! I tried to do my best Mr. Beast intro. It was like the very first episode. I want to get people like right there. I want to grab them.
See, is that what we have to do now?
Yes.
Scream?
Yes.
I mean, I guess that's what we started doing.
I mean, why are people here otherwise?
So true.
So, Ethan, what are your thoughts on gun control?
Damn, man, I'm so excited that you asked. First episode of the podcast, get into the thick of it.
Yeah, I wrote down gun control, politics, abortion, and then I was like, whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah, just leave it up to me. I'll decide.
Welcome, everyone at home. I guess this is a surprise to many of you that we're doing a podcast, but I thought it was about time that two white men finally sat down.
Yeah, you know, our opinions are of the utmost importance, and we know that you've been waiting for them.
Yeah.
So why not give you what nobody else has?
And no one asked for either.
Yep.
Everyone at home was like, podcast? Okay, I guess so. I promise we'll make it worth your while. We may be doing a podcast, but neither of us have a Shure SM7B.
That's right. The first podcast ever to not be recorded with Shure SM7B.
Yeah, and I probably have mine not recording well, so I should be.
It's gonna be great, guys. You've never heard something quite like this. Like that.
So, we came up with the name Brain Leak after many other names. Because we thought, what's like a word vomity kind of thought vomit name? It's like our brains are completely dead. So, we've no brain cells because my brain is evaporated. That's from my head.
Well, before we do the name, should we go back further to even like what the catalyst for the podcast was?
Money.
That's exactly right.
Money.
We can't wait for our Amazon deal to kick in, guys. No, because I remember it was a few months ago now, you randomly texted me and you were like, hey, are you free to jump on a call real quick? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure. And you were just like, you want to do a podcast? Yeah.
And literally, that is all that happened. Well, I wanted to do one for a while, and I didn't know what to do. And then for a long time, I was like, should I do one on my own? I was like, I don't think that's that fun to do, because I don't enjoy doing things on my own all the time.
I don't think that would get to do because I don't enjoy myself.
Because I hate myself. And I thought, who better than you? Because you are the exact same as me. Neither of us can talk.
Exactly. It's going to be so good. This
Yeah.
podcast is going to be unintelligible from start to end, every episode.
And there's going to be so many British accents and stupid noises, and me impersonating you, and then you laughing at yourself through me impersonating you. It's going to be great. Buckle up, everybody.
It's going to be great. No, I think it's going to be fun though, because like you and I, whenever we get together, we always have like much deeper conversations than we would in recordings, and I feel like this is going to be a good way for us to sort of get those out. And I think a lot of people also will sort of appreciate us being a bit more real and not being in necessarily like recording mode.
It's going to be chill.
It's gonna be chill, and we have a lot of fun plans, and we want to have guests on, and also do the same thing there, where when we have guests on, we want to have like actual fun conversations rather than the same questions that everybody gets asked.
Like gun control, abortion.
Exactly, politics.
Where people stand on. I'm not going to I'm not going to go any deeper before people think I'm not joking.
This is the first episode, Sean.
I don't know anything about politics, so I don't even know how to joke about it. It's like me talking about weed. I'm like, I have no idea. Have you ever injected weed before?
Have you ever injected weed in your system?
You know, you like boil the weed pipe.
You boil the weed pipe.
No,
Yeah.
I do a lot of drugs. But we had a bunch of other names because Ethan came over to Brighton in December and we were here for New Year's. Irrelevant of the podcast, we were like, this is a good chance to come up with some names. And It was me, you, and Evelyn sitting at dinner, and for an hour, you and I just... we made the paint leave the building, basically.
I feel like Evelyn was like a referee at a tennis match, just looking back and forth, as we just said dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, and after like 5 minutes, she realized it was going nowhere, and then pulled out her phone and was like, I want to do something else. You guys just do what you want.
It literally was, like, that's not an exaggeration at all. It was just you and I for over an hour, just saying words back and forth, and eventually it got to the point where we were just like, lamp, and...
Yeah, Windowsill was one, which is a really cool name. Windowsill is like a really good, like, ska band name, I think.
Yeah, but good for a podcast.
No. What were some of the other ones? We came up with a couple. They went in different directions. One of them was the Wet Pussy Project,
Which I think was the best one.
but it feels like we're skewing our demographic a little bit.
There was that, there was, I think it was like What the Podcast.
What the Podcast?
All about podcasts.
Or like Everything Full of Podcasts, or some stupid shit like that. Oh, we should have called it like Live Laugh Podcast.
Yeah, if you guys have any good podcast recommendations, it's not too late to change the brand.
It's the first episode. I was still like, Brain Leak? Oh, we should have called it Brain Dead. And I was like, there's going to be a Brain Dead podcast out there already.
You should call it I Wanna Be Dead podcast.
Yeah, then we put it into like an AI. And we were like, what are good podcast names? And it kept coming out with stupid shit like Two Dumb Bitches.
I think my favorite one was the Jim Brogan Experiment.
It's satire, it's parody.
Yeah, it's so good.
We just need to like,
so funny.
we need to do episodes where we just sit down and talk about like MDMA and monkeys.
Yeah, talking about how eating elk has changed our lives.
Break the Liver King drama. Have Derek from More Planes, More Dates come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know him, right?
Nope.
he does videos talking about like steroid use, and he's very open about that he uses steroids. And that was like, he was the guy that showed me that like everybody's on steroids all the fucking time.
So obviously not in competitions. Are steroids legal?
I don't actually know. That's a good question. Derek?
Oh yeah, we need a person to just be like, hey, give us the answer.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Guys, if you guys keep watching the podcast and we get sponsorships, then we can afford a producer.
Let's talk a little bit about the plans for the podcast, because I think that like beyond us two privileged white men talking about our experience in the world.
Shout out,
Shout out, baby. We wanted to also use this as a way to just make more stuff together, other than just sitting here and talking. And so we do have a lot of plans, not necessarily like set in stone yet, but about like releasing a channel and being able to make just like fun videos where we go out and do different shit together. And it will be called Tunis Hummus.
Stole the joke. I was waiting for it. Oh, you see, I told you I was going to make that joke, and you stole it.
But you know, I made it.
It's your brand. You should be allowed.
My brand, baby.
But yeah, we want to do, because I don't know. I just want to get out and do more stuff in general. Anyway, and I guess I like you, so
Yeah.
it might be fun to go out and do like Ethan and Sean do archery together, or some stupid shit like that.
And that's the kind of stuff that I love doing. Like just going out and trying new stuff and just being weird in public.
I love it.
I love it so much. But I miss bouncing off of somebody else a lot. And so other than just doing this, I think it's going to be really fun to just go and make those videos when we can. There's not going to be like a set schedule necessarily. And also this is the first episode of the podcast, so we don't really know what we're doing about it.
Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing after 10 years doing YouTube, so this is maybe different.
But I think it'll be cool though. I think it'll be cool not only making fun videos together, together, but also learning more about each other. Like we talked about, like me flying over there and us going to Ireland and you showing me what
we go kiss it and get COVID.
I think it would be fun to like go through the stereotypical things that like maybe you or I both haven't done. Like have you ever been to Stone?
I have when I was a kid, I think, but it would be cool to do like a road trip through Ireland and then maybe go to America and do like you can show your own name and then we can see that and then we can go eat lobster.
It would be so fun to go on a lobster boat.
Yeah!
Go catch pots. That'd be so
can we go like fucking like whale harpooning? Can we go like shark fin hunting? Can I like
we hunt whales?
No, but we can.
That's so true. We're YouTubers. We can do whatever we want.
Oh, Ethan and Sean overfish.
Sean and Ethan devastate the northeastern ecosystem.
Starting a wildfire.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
California needs to end up in the ocean. Let's burn it all down.
Let's do it. We have the power.
We'll just be like, every one of our subscribers come along the California border, hold hands, and bring a lighter.
It's gonna be fun though. I'm very excited for the stuff that we can possibly make. I think that you and I both have the same sort of mindset of like we want to use the podcast as sort of like a launching point to be able to do other stuff together.
Yeah. So this is a call out as well. Sponsors, guests, anybody who wants to be on. Well, not anybody, but we need to have some sort of standards.
Yeah. No, but I think it would be really fun having guests on, and like I was saying before, like asking them questions that aren't just standard like interview questions.
Yeah, so we also had an idea for all this first episode. This is just setting up what all this is, but that's what this is for. We want to do like a recurring segment every episode as well, and we want to do like an advice column. Obviously, we can't do it for the first episode because we don't have an audience yet. But we want to do something where we like you guys can put in your advice somewhere. We'll make an email or something like that where you can submit, and then we'll give you terrible advice on. I want to give funny advice like I finished my exams, I'm going off to college, and then I can be like, don't. Just pack it in now.
I didn't even ask a question. I finished my exams. I'm going off to college. You just give unsolicited advice.
Don't do it, idiot. Fucking morons. I went to college twice.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you do it twice? Oh yeah, for music
production unit. Yeah, music shit. I do music shit. Shout out Quarter Notes.
Well, if you'd like to submit your questions to us, you can do it at the following email that will be inserted later in post.
That's smart, because I was just going to say we'll figure that out.
How about that email, huh? Oh yeah, we're also recording video of this. Will it go up anywhere? You have no idea.
It will. This is the year of confidence. We're not going to be like, one day, like we are.
Spotify has video now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that too.
Yeah. I don't see anyone use it though. I just see like a loop of a music video in the background all the time. Means we have to like look good when we show up. Like I can't just show up disheveled.
No, you can. You just have to own it. You know? Have to own it.
I do a long hair now. I am quite disheveled all the time.
It looks good though. I like it. I think it's great.
You had long hair for a while. Did you have the same problem where it gets greasy in 2 minutes?
Yep. It gets greasy and weird, and then you don't really know what to do with it, and then you're out of hat stage though with the length.
Yeah, thank God. Because at a point where I was like, is it going to fall left? Is it going to fall right? Do I even have a mid part? Like my life got very difficult for a long time.
How many minutes into this recording are we already talking about? Man, hair is wild.
Do you have hair growing in places that you've never had hair before? I do. On my head.
Damn, that's insane.
I'll give you a podcast exclusive about my hair. So many people are always like, is Jack going grey? And I'll obviously I've talked about that a lot, yes. Since I was 16, I've been going very, very grey. If you go back to my earlier content.
Since you were 16? Yeah. How old were you when you started?
22, but it was like November 2012, so it was like a month and a half left. So I really started in like 2013. I did like 2 videos in 2012, so I never really counted. But I was like 23 when I fully got into it. But everyone keeps asking, like, go back and watch my old videos. Super grey hair, and then everyone's like, is he grey? And then suddenly it's not grey. It's like, yeah, I dye it. And everyone's like, oh my god, does he dye his hair? It's like, yeah, green was fine, but trying to not look like I'm 50, and everyone's like, weird.
Do you dye your beard?
No. I have like a couple of greys in there. It's just usually it's shorter, so you never see them.
Maybe this year, because of the podcast, I'll be able to grow a beard.
You should start now and not cut it, so every episode we can do a super cut of Ethan's beard growth as a separate video.
Oh man, that can be a segment of the podcast. It's just like, and now for beard time with Ethan. Yeah, it's kind of coming in a little more.
Back to you. Just ask every guest that comes on. It's like, what do you think of his beard? Kind of weird, isn't it?
It's kind of patchy.
Yeah, he's in that beard hat phase.
So here's a question for you. What do you think that you're most excited about with the birth of the podcast?
I don't know, I feel like when we make YouTube videos these days, you have to be like on the ball when it comes to like when you can't say certain things. Like so many of my old videos now are all getting hammered because that new swearing policy came in, the like 8 to 15 seconds thing, where everyone for a while was like, is that a thing? And now it's definitively a thing.
Now it's actually a thing.
So we all have to worry about that. You have to worry about like algorithms and everything. And I feel like this is way more just like free flow. I feel like I can say and do things that I don't really have to worry about as much. But also we get to do like extra shit because we don't want to, like we said, we don't want to just record the episodes and be like, hey, go here and listen to it or watch it. Like do extracurricular stuff as an excuse to hang out with each other. We want to do like a haunted house and like go to a castle that's been haunted and things like that. And I think those types of things, because last year I've kind of been lonely and miserable and depressed and just kind of sitting at home being like, man, it's like I like what I do, but doing the same version of it over and over again, I haven't really been challenging myself, and I think this challenges me.
Yeah, I think it's nice too to have like somebody else that you, one, can rely on, but two, have to like show up for. You know? It helps a lot, and it helps keep you motivated and on track and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to hang out with friends.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It also gives us both an excuse to see each other. We'll probably come to LA more. I hopefully will come out there more.
Well, not even just that, but even in texts, because I feel like we're both the same with ADHD, where it's like, well, you're not around, so I hate texting, so I'm not gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Like, out of sight, out of mind. You don't exist to me unless I'm in town.
It's so bad sometimes, and I have to explain it to friends where it's just like, sometimes I have object permanence issues with people.
Okay.
If I don't see them.
Oh, here we go. First impression of Ethan.
I don't even remember what my mom's face looks like. She'd come around and I'd be like, Mom, that's what you look like. I didn't even know. I didn't even know you.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now and get you to say how many unread messages you have. How many, like, undone notifications on your phone you have? Because I have one, which is my settings, which is an update.
Okay.
And that's it. Everything else, except my shop app, which has like 7. But that's it. 8 total on my home screen.
You have 8 total.
Oh god, your emails are going to ruin me.
Focus. I have 4,600 emails. Somewhere in there.
Wait, are these like important emails, or is this stuff like people sign you up for, like long reads?
It's probably a bit of both. So there's 4,600 emails, and then focus, and then there's 172 voicemails, and there's, what is that, 192 texts.
Are those texts like authenticator codes, like 2-step?
Some of them are, let's see, I'll go down the list. So my first one is an unread text in a group chat with my brother and my mom.
That's
and then
understandable.
there is one spam thing. I have one from my boxing coach. I have one from my dad.
You really don't like interacting with your family,
Yeah.
do you?
Yeah, and then it's just like random friends that have texted me, and I'm like, oh, I'll respond to that. And then, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's great.
You'll turn 30 at some point and be like, I don't care about any of the people.
I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But hold on. Let's not go there yet, because I have a thing to say. Bouncing off of what you just said.
Go.
Welcome to the podcast. I can't remember who I was talking to about this. But they were like, why do you think that way? That's weird, and I don't agree at all. I'm so excited to be 30.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone says that 30 is great, and I can't wait. And I was saying that to somebody the other day, and they were like, why? That's so weird. I don't feel the same way at all. And it seems like your 20s are all about, fucking around and finding out and...
Fucking bitches and getting money.
Exactly. And 30s are like, you know yourself a little bit better, and you're more of a real person.
Your brain finally turns on.
So I'm 26 now. How much of a difference in who you are as a person do you feel like, let's go 5 years, from 25 to 30? You're 31 now? 32?
I was 33 in 2 days.
Oh, shit!
Which dates this episode, I guess.
It does.
I thought you were going to go, how much time do I have left? When will my penis stop working? Still firing it up. Still Mount Vesuvius over here, baby.
Yeah, man.
I think 26 was when everything started to really change for me. That was when it was like, I can't eat whole packets of Haribos anymore. My back started hurting. I started being able to crack parts of my body that I couldn't before.
When I was over there, Yumi and Tonga were hanging out, and we were
Yeah.
having that conversation where you and I were both like, yeah, neither of us can really eat a lot of sweets anymore because it just hurts. And he was like, what? That happens?
I get
You were
acid
like, yeah.
reflux all the time. I look at a packet of sweets and I'm like, whoop.
And then he had no idea what Tenacious D was.
Oh! He can go fuck himself for that one. We were talking about Thankamus, and I said, yeah, Jack Black was on. He was like, yeah, he's cool. And I said, yeah, and he offered Tenacious D tickets whenever I wanted. He was like, what's that? So earnestly. And I was like, his band. He was like, is it a band? Yeah, he's a singer. And he was like, what? And I'm like, he's a singer before he's an actor. What did you think he did? And he had no idea. Now, he's not here to defend himself, and that's good, because he'd come up with some smart, witty reply that's actually really clever. But I just want to...
I can't stand Tommy. He's charming, and he's super nice, and he's friendly, and he's tall, and he's British. He's got the cool accent, and he's genuinely very nice to be around.
Well,
I can't stand him.
Tommy's from up north, so he doesn't have an accent. He's from he's from top it
like Jon Snow.
Yeah, she's my queen. I don't mean it.
But how? So your body started hurting.
Yeah.
Kidney
started shutting down.
Heart started to slow.
Well, it's weird because leading up to 30, I was really excited as well. I was like, because my 10 birthdays end up on the 10s of the year. So I was born in 1990. So it was 2020 was when I turned 30. So it was okay, new decade for me. Everything was kind of coalescing. And I was like, here we go. I was so excited I was going to change my life. And then a month after my birthday, lockdown happened. So I feel like I got I feel like I got a vasectomy right out at the start of the year, where I just got snipped. So 30 to 33 now, I feel has been weird, because I went through some I feel great, I feel terrible, I feel great, I feel terrible. So I don't really know how that experience was, but from 26 to 30, I feel like I changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I sort of on the opposite end of that, because I was 23 or 22, 23. I guess I was 23 when lockdown started, and so a part of me feels like I was kind of lived in my early 20s in a sense,
I'm supposed to be out doing blow on hookers.
I know. No, but I did kind of feel that, like, oh, I kind of wish, even though I hate this setting, but, like, I kind of wish that I, like, went out to more clubs and did that kind of, like, stereotypical, like, early 20s kind of garbage, which I can't stand that kind of stuff now, but I'm like, oh, man, I do kind of feel like I was stripped of that a little bit.
Yeah, because I think I was 21 the last time I got, like, really drunk, went to a club, like, puked everywhere, kind of, like, night out.
Is that when you shit yourself and you split your toe open?
Those are two... Oh, wait, no. I shot myself twice. I do things in pairs, you'll find out. You know, this is what the podcast is for. Unfiltered, unbridled. I don't know what you guys would call them, but like chippers is what we'd call them, where you go get like fish and chips or like battered sausages or like fast food kind of places. But it's a very Scran, a fish, Scran. We did that when I was 17 and I got wildly drunk because my friend had just turned 18, so we went to a pub that didn't care. If you're like 16 and above, they were like, yeah, we'll serve you drinks, but like keep it like safe. Keep it in the yeah. And then I got really.
And you didn't.
I did not. I could not have been more on the high instead of on the down. Anyway, on the up there, on the up. I got really drunk, and then we had like vodka afterwards, and that I can't drink vodka since because we got so hammered that I was like blinking through my life that night, and I remember being in the chippers, and I had to take a shit, and I went in. I made it to the bathroom, went in, sat on the toilet, and didn't take my pants off. So I just filled my jeans as much as I could. I looked like fucking Paul from the Teletubbies with that big, like, heavy ass. And then, oh, this is really gonna please still be my fans after this. But I remember pulling down my pants and scooping my shit out of my pants into the toilet. Yeah, that was me, baby. And then, after that, I went outside, sat down, and then puked all over myself. Jesus. And then we got a taxi home. The taxi driver was not very happy with me because I stank the place out of it. And then I got home and hugged my mother at the front door. Covered in puke.
I've never been that drunk before.
That's fucking terrible.
That's unreal. You were 17?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, because I've heard that story before, I didn't know that you scooped shit out of your jeans.
Yeah.
Have you not publicly told that story before?
I've told it in, like, various forms, but I was like, I don't know if I, like, save that for a tour or a live show. I don't think people want to hear about that.
Now it's the podcast, baby.
Yeah.
It's all podcast.
2 exclusives today. Yeah, but the other time,
I don't think I've ever been that drunk.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I didn't know any better then. The second time I did know better because I didn't shit my pants. I just shit on someone's doorstep and then left it there. That was when I was in college the first time, and I was like 20, I think, or 19, and I thought I'd be the cool guy. I'd broken up with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, I'm sad. I stopped going to college for like 4 months. Still went in and passed my exams, so what up? Shout out Brain.
So, how does... You can do that? You just not show up and then you still pass?
Yeah, because I think I probably should have got failed on my attendance. Maybe it wasn't 4 months. I think maybe my brain's exaggerating the memory for me. But I feel like it was definitely 2 months for sure, where I just did not go because I was sad and I was like, time to drink. And then I went to a house party with a bunch of friends, and I downed like half a bottle of Sambuca to be like, I like stood on a table and did it, and I was like, I'm going to be really cool. And then did that, and I literally, that's the last thing I remember. I can't remember anything after that. Except like, I thought I was in my, it was like a door that you had like a fob to get into, and then there was like 3 apartments at the top of the stairs. It was like student accommodation, so I went in and thought it was mine, but it wasn't, so I couldn't get back out. And I was like panicking. All I had to do was like turn a handle and like pull it out at the same time. But I was so drunk that I couldn't get out, and I was like, I gotta shit
You do the classic thing, like trying to get back into your house after a long night of drinking, where you're like fumbling with the keys, your head is like banging against the front door. It's like, oh God!
So
we
imagine
can't open a door.
Imagine that, but it's not your house. So they're probably in their apartment going like, someone's trying to break in. We're gonna get murdered in our sleep. And I couldn't get back out, so I was like, I really gotta shit. So I shat on their doorstep, and then went home. And these are
Look at
terrible
you
stories.
now.
I'm not proud of any of this, by the way. This is awful, awful stuff. But I woke up the next morning and my big toe was like split down the middle, like the nail. My whole foot was covered in blood. But I woke up with all my clothes on and my shoes and my socks. So I have no idea how that happened. Maybe I like kicked the door to try and get out.
No shit in your pants.
No! Evolution.
Damn. That is insane.
Yeah, that's the type of story where I'm like, it is funny, but it's also like so gross that I'm like, I don't know if I should tell people that. That was over 10 years ago. I'm evolved now. I have a bidet in my house. I won't shit my ass ever again.
Baby, if there's a bidet company that wants to sponsor the podcast, the bidet, the invention of the bidet has changed.
The bidet will come where we get sponsored.
It's unbelievable how much it changes your life.
Yeah, turns out most of Asia had it right already. And we were over here like cave people, like might as well have had leaves scraping our asshole.
You guys have the cool toilets at your house too, where it's like automatic.
Yeah, you put your foot to the bottom of it and the thing goes like, welcome. It's like a 4D experience.
So beyond, evolving from shit in your pants.
Yeah.
What's been new in the world of Sean recently? Let's do a little update on both of our ends.
For me, I have coffee rebrand coming, which we don't really know when this is launching yet, so it's either out or it's about to come out, so shout out coffee. That neon sign will change to a new logo soon.
Ooh, I was about to ask if that'll be outdated and you'll have to get a new logo.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about it. I think everything we did really elevates the brand, and I think it's just a way better direction for everything. It's way more fun to do. The other neon sign is right there in its box. I have to wait to unbox it for like the reveal.
How's the synergy with the brand?
Synergy's good, yeah. It's very frictionless now. It's just like, it's seamless from like top to bottom, and the systems that we have in place from consumer to doorstep, like direct to consumer, yeah, totally frictionless. It's just
good.
It's I couldn't even think of any more words that people say.
I'm so glad to hear. That is very exciting though. You showed me a couple of photos from like the photo shoots that you were doing.
Yeah. We got like most of those pictures back now, so they're like, it's the first time we've done like a photo shoot for that. Really got high end with it. Like the colors are all nice. And I really like the photographers we used. We got some animations done for the website. I got to see that for the final version of that like 2 days ago. It's cool. I think it'll like, some people will be like, huh, okay, when it happens, but I feel like the way the coffee was a bit too minimal for what it was, and it didn't really match my personality, and I think the new one matches me.
I'm saying this genuinely. I'm really excited to see what happens with Top of the Morning, because I think it's genuinely extremely good coffee. Like, I drink it every morning.
Thank you.
And I feel like it's like one of the only like influencer brands that I've seen that actually like is a good representation of you and like what you like, and it actually like makes sense, because there's a lot of influencer brands that I'm like,
Why are you doing that? That doesn't really make sense.
Drop the names. Shout out.
oh man, let's call all of them out, huh?
Just say Mr. Beast. You know you want to.
Yeah, that's true, but I've heard his chocolate's bad. I haven't had it. I can't eat it.
Oh, because it's got peanuts in it. Wait, really? I thought it only had like 4 ingredients.
It says may contain.
Oh, Jimmy Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beach, you gotta get on that. You can't make it in a facility that may handle peanuts. You gotta get them out of there.
I know. Maybe that's what I'll do for my project. Maybe I'll make things that won't kill me. Because I've been working out a lot recently, and I can't find. It's so hard to find good protein bars that don't have peanuts in them.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I guess that's a good chance to talk about what you're up to, because you got big muscles now. Big Daddy
Doing
Flex, they
box.
call you. Show us,
That's what they call me.
pop them off for the people who get to watch. Ah! Oh yeah! All you audio listeners are missing out on that flexion. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing a Greater Clash 2. It's coming up way sooner than I anticipated. I mean, obviously the data has not changed, but time is moving quick.
And now you're like in the zone. Like
Now I'm in the zone, auto zone.
I would say, show us your signature move, but you gotta keep that on wraps.
That's the funny thing, actually, is that like everyone who's a part of it is trying to sort of keep things under wraps a little bit, which I do understand, and I'm also doing that. Like, I'm not really showing any footage of me boxing or anything like that. But it is one of those things where it's like we're all at the same like starter level. I don't think that there's really going to be a lot that any of us could show that would be like, there's these weak points. It's like we're all new at it for the most part.
Yeah, the only outlier would be if one person is like gifted at it.
Yeah. And so it's just like, I understand why we're not showing any footage of us boxing, but I don't think it would really make that much of a difference.
Well, it's probably more so, I mean, I don't box, and you could probably debunk this if you want, but I feel like it's more for your trainers, that if they can see footage of your opponents, they're able to spot weaknesses that you wouldn't. Yeah, and then you train that. And then maybe they fix that weakness by the end, and you've trained so much on that, and you just get... It's probably better to just give you an overall experience and like focus on what your opponent does and doesn't do.
Yeah.
So you're a well-rounded boxer.
It's a very interesting world, the world of boxing. I didn't think that I would like it as much as I do.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't want to get hit in the face. I get headaches all the time, and I suffer from migraines recently, and I have back pain and everything. I don't even think my doctor would clear me to be able to do it, even if I wanted to. But the training of it is super cool. And I think just because Ireland has a huge history with boxing, like some of the best boxers in the world come from Ireland as well. And I think it's always just been so cool to like watch people train, and even watching, when I haven't seen you train, but watching Aaron do it and like staring at the footwork being like, oh, that's cool.
It's really fun. Like, even if you're not doing it for a fight, the training that's involved that goes into boxing is so intense. Like, I've never been more tired from a workout ever, because it's so much of it is just endurance.
Yeah.
And so by the time you're done with the workout, you're just absolutely like obliterated. It's been really rewarding because I did gymnastics for 10 years, and then I've been doing YouTube now for 10 years. And so I haven't done anything new in a really long time. And so it was really nice starting boxing and being like, wow, I suck at this. And like, I'm still not good at it, but I like being able to see the progression is really, really cool. And it's really gratifying because I've been filming every time I spar. And so I was looking at some of the first times that I was sparring the other day, and I was like, wow, I have progressed. That's really cool.
Yeah, I did like 40 minutes of Beat Saber today, so I guess you can say we're the same. The arms are sore.
Yeah, how was it?
It was great. They actually have a fitness one now where it's like left, right, crouch. And I was like, fuck off. Let me just like
Let me do BTS.
let me imagine driving this for a second.
But yeah, I'm really, really excited about Creator Clash. Like, everybody that's involved it's so nice, because I think stereotypically with boxing, and especially influencer boxing, there's so much like stupid beef that's surrounded by it, and it's dumb. Remember last year for Creator Clash, Keemstar had made either a tweet or some sort of video where he's like, you need to have more drama surrounding Creator Clash. It's like, why? We're already punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
Like, why does there need to be fake drama around it? We're beating each other up.
Yeah, I guess that's just kind of the moral of sports, where especially when you have like gets it because you're trying to drum up hype and you want to sell tickets and it's pay-per-view, so you're all trying to get a bag out of it. But I think that completely misses the point of the charity event that is Creator Clash. That everyone just wanted to have fun with it.
Yeah, I think that is honestly a big difference in the entire like mentality and vibe of the event is that it's not so everybody can get paid, it's so raise money for a good cause. And honestly, everybody's really like passionate about like putting on a good show.
Yeah.
Because we all want all of the fights are really even. And like Ian and Anissa did such a good job of pairing up all of the fighters because everybody is like pretty equal. So I'm excited for this year to be a lot more intense than last year. Like not to call out our boy Matt Watts.
Oh, Matty.
It's not going to be any dad versus Matt Watson fights this year where somebody just gets destroyed.
I mean, even to a lesser extent, it was like Aaron versus Harley was so mismatched as well. Like on screen, you can't really tell that difference, but anybody who knows anything about boxing knows how much of a weight difference that was and how crazy that is.
Yeah, there was like a 6-inch height difference, and then I think a 70-pound weight difference.
It's crazy.
So it's just like getting even a soft hit with that amount of weight difference is like being hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal.
So yeah, good luck with that. Good luck getting hit in the head so hard that it'll detach your retinas and you'll never be able to remember the podcast name. It's actually kind of on brand.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's going to be good. I have a lot of faith in you. I think it's going to be great.
You're commentating. Well, no, you're not commentating.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think
Post-show.
everyone was when the announcement came out, like Charlie, Mark, and Jack like commentating. That's going to be lit. And like, we're not doing that. It's Charlie, Tony Jeffries,
What's his name?
and the other guy, Clemens. That sounds like a football player. They're doing that, but we're just doing like pre-show, post-show. So Mark and I are doing like comedy. We're vamping for the audience, basically.
Yeah, you guys would be the comic relief at the beginning and the end. It's
Yeah. So I was like,
keeping everybody entertained.
I don't want to fight anybody, but I would love to still be part of it. And they're like, okay.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very
It'll
fun.
be very close by the time this episode's out. So everyone should get I Heart Ethan shirts.
I thought you were gonna say tattoos. I was like,
Sure, why not? Get it branded on you. Get an I Heart Ethan brand and stick it right on your ass.
yeah, why not?
And then take pictures of it and send it to us.
If you're in Florida, come on out to Tampa, baby. It'll be great. It's all for charity.
Wouldn't be the first time YouTubers got ass pics from their fans.
Damn, dude, crazy.
Yeah, what's that trajectory that YouTubers are always on? It's like you do one thing or the other.
Oh yeah.
It's like you either go on and you start making music or you become a pedophile or something.
Yeah. God.
Okay, so we gotta make music.
We're
We're
gonna announce my album.
Make music.
Make music, please.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Creative Clash though. It's gonna be really fun, and I'm excited for it also to be over.
So you can ejaculate?
Yeah, yeah. The not coming thing is man. No, but like the training is obviously super hard, but like other than that, it's just a really big lifestyle change.
Yeah.
This week was the first week in a while because I got sick. Where it was like, oh wow, it's weird not going to train every day, and like you have to watch what you eat, and my gym is 45 minutes away, so it's just like most of my day is surrounded by training and stuff. So it'd be nice to have my life back.
Yeah. I don't envy that. I remember trying to work out rigorously for a while, and I always last like 3 months, and then I'm like,
I let him roll over and some chuck it.
made lasagna last night. Shit was fine.
I thought you were like, shit was fine.
Shit was fucked.
I'm very excited to start this journey with you, Johnny boy.
It's gonna be great. Should we, since it's like the first episode and we don't have anyone to canvas for anything, should we like tweet out that we want to give people advice on something?
What should we do?
Ask Ethan on anything you want, and we'll give you terrible advice on it. Tweet. Like, if it doesn't work, you can just delete the tweet, and no one has a paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to give you advice on something? What do you need advice on right now? I can give you advice on age, but that's too serious. This segment is going to be all jokes, by the way. There's not a single time we're going to answer anything seriously, and I don't think we should, because then we're liable.
It's purely from a legal standpoint.
Yeah, we're just using you guys as a vehicle for comedy, and to involve you in the show, because I feel like a lot of times people don't involve their audience in their podcast too much, and I feel like that's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, because I want people to be involved. It makes it more fun.
Yeah.
It makes more of a community.
Yeah, and it's something to like look forward to every time and be like, oh, is my name gonna get picked? No, Sandra, I'm not coming to your fucking baby shower.
Do you want me to ask you a serious question?
Can I joke about it anyway?
Yes.
You're not gonna ask me like, what should I do about my career?
I was gonna ask sort of a similar thing. Of like, I feel so disconnected from my audience. How do I have a healthy relationship with them without crawling back into the I'm trying to please everybody all the time and have a fake mask of everything's great.
I think what you gotta do is find one joke and just hammer the shit out of it. Just over and over and over again. Like, what is up, my cranky crew is great. We can do better. Not that was a joke.
No, it is. What's yours?
Ding dong, the video's ready. My joke is I hate myself all the time, and I have no confidence in what I'm doing anymore. Watch me fall apart in real time.
This is a joke.
Yeah, I say that at the end of it every single time.
This is a funny haha joke. Okay, have you gotten any questions?
How do you get bitches?
Okay.
You put peanut butter on your genitals.
Yeah, I can't do that. Do that, I'm like,
Okay.
Why did I listen to those podcast boys?
Those two silly boys. That was another name for a podcast that we're going to come up with. If you have like peanut butter on you, like on your skin, obviously that's bad and will dye you. Do you start swelling in the region where the peanut butter is first? Or is it like system-wide, oh god, it's all bad? I'm trying to figure out a way of saying, will your dick swell up before anything else?
It would be that, yeah. Because I was thinking, like, I haven't had that happen before, but that is how they test for allergies. They do the, like, prick test. And so, yeah, it would normally swell up, or you'd get hives or whatever in that area first.
Hey,
so, yes.
Those extra 3 inches, though.
I know. I'll take what I can get, baby.
Puts it to work for 20 minutes before you're dead.
You know, most people just use Viagra or whatever, but I'm not most people.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it staying up for 4 hours if you're dead in 20 minutes. How long would it take? Let's say, achoo, I've spit my peanut butter all over your cock. How long do you have?
As long as I can hold my breath, I guess. Once my throat closes up, how long can I survive without air?
Is that the thing that does it? I thought like your heart would give out or something.
No, your throat. So everything starts swelling up, and then your throat just slowly closes. And then
So if you
stop breathing, and then you die.
If you had a tube in it, like, straight to your air.
Straight to your head.
I'm trying to keep you alive, bro. I care
guess,
about you, bro.
I don't know. Anybody who's a doctor is more qualified to answer this. I guess theoretically that might work.
See, people are this. You guys got to be as funny as we are with this advice segment. How do I cope with my dad abandoning me? There we go. I wouldn't know because my dad's dead. Ethan?
Oh man, my dad has been swell. You know, so you're shit out of luck there, champ. I'd say get a better dad
Get over it already.
Yeah, just get over it. You know, I think that what you can do is sort of a reverse adoption, because parents always go out there and they adopt children. You know, some do it because maybe they can't have children. Some do it just because they feel like adopting, but others, and I think most of the time, do it because they had one kid already and they were like, ooh, that one turned out bad. Let's choose a child now. And so I think that you can do that sort of with a father figure. So
you want like a parent orphanage that you can go to, like a parent pound.
It's called AA. You just choose the most well-adjusted.
It's called grievance counseling for losing a child.
Yes, because they're searching, and so are you.
Yeah, this is what this podcast is about. Anyone out there want to be Caitlin's dad? Submit. Just submit.
Just submit. Man, Caitlin, hope you appreciated that advice, and also hope you appreciated that you're the first one to receive advice. You don't even know it yet.
Just don't look to us for parentage. We are not your dads. We're your daddies. Okay, since it's the first episode, you can pick one out from your community as well.
Alright, this is from Ashlyn. Ashlyn Slocum. Cool.
Shout out Slocum.
My niece is going to be born in a couple of days. What should I wear to make a good first impression?
Ooh. See, this is tricky. Well, you're trying to make an impression for the baby, but the baby won't remember anything. So I think you can have some real fun with this. Like, if you want to be terrifying, you could go dressed as like a clown and like start the trauma early.
I think that's a good idea.
Or you can like test something out as no one has before, where you dress up as something so specifically unique, and then when they're 10 years old, you dress up as it again and see if they're like,
if they have the memory.
Yeah, if they're like, oh my god, I didn't know. It's like when you have a smell that you didn't, it's like, oh my god, that's my childhood. What's that smell?
I think that you could start your comedy career early, and you go and meet your niece, and I know that this isn't something that you're wearing, but you go and do your type 5 to your niece, and then 10 years later, when your comedy career is starting to blossom, you bring out that type 5 again, and then you already have a fan that's been waiting.
Yeah.
It's been, you know, what is it called? The Manchurian Candidate. But it's a type 5.
You winter soldier them. That's what you do. You go in and you don't like make a good first impression with how you're dressed. You're thinking way too small. That's a fucking rookie move, Slocum. You gotta go in and bombard all 5 senses. You need to, like, it's a newborn baby, it's new to the world, its nose is developing, its eyes are barely even open, they're all cross-eyed and shit. Their ears are listening to, like, for ages, they've just been listening to, like, sloshing sounds for 9 months.
Everything's been muffled, sounds like it's in the room next over.
Yeah, and they probably heard you already, just be like, but, you go in there, what are the 5 senses, Ethan?
There is taste, there is smell.
I don't know how we get the taste with the baby yet. We'll figure it out.
Taste, smell, sight, sound, and feel.
Yeah! Look at you! Woo! Shout out brain!
We got it still.
So you gotta go in, you gotta like do your...
I love how you were like kind of actually proud of me for getting all 5 senses correct.
Well, the last time I saw you attempted was Una's Honest. That didn't go well. Which in that clip, I realized that you said like ears and like sound, or like you said sound already, and then Mark is like, it's like he already said that one, idiot, ears, and that's why you said ears, because we're just confused. Well, for this baby, I feel like I need to know this baby's name. It's like, what do you call a child these days? Hank?
I feel like we're gonna start going into like dog names for kids, you know?
Yeah.
How like
Sparky.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like
Axel. Yeah, no, Axel's too much of like a name. We need to have like Rolf. That's the sound a dog makes. Rolf.
How many people are out there that have named their dog Ray, but it's spelled Ralph, like Ray Fiennes?
Oh, my dog name. What would that be?
Do you think you'd have a stereotypical Irish name?
I'm called Sean, and my mother was calling me Jack for most of my life, so the fuck do they know? I feel like you'd have like an energetic, like a little terrier sort of name. You'd be like a little cute one. Like Rex. Rex. Yeah. Well, no, you're like a Sparky kind of guy.
I think that is Sparky or like a Spot.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's more like brown ass or something.
Brown ass.
Brown ass. Get over.
You run over, but you're like hitting chairs.
Yeah. I'm the dog that like doesn't go around anything. I like jump through the window.
Oh man. So yeah, just turn into a dog.
Yeah, you just like go in, like lick the baby's head, like check for the soft spot.
You hit the soft spot early, so it builds up an immunity.
Give them a helmet.
I should have worn a helmet when I was a child.
I know.
I rolled off my dad's chest.
That explains so much. You were doing algebra and quantum mechanics, and then bonk.
Holy shit, Dad! I am called a bunkus.
Oh my god! You really fucked up, Dad. This shit
I
is
don't
great.
have penis anymore now.
Oh man, I wonder if that was what did me in. It hit my peanut spot.
That's the soft spot is. It's the peanut zone.
The peanut zone.
That's what you should do to the baby. Bring every allergen you can think of.
That is what they start doing now, apparently. Is they introduce all the allergens way earlier. Supposed to introduce different foods at different times.
They do like a slip and slide of allergens as you come out. There's just like it's like a water park. You fly past all of them like mustard, bananas.
That would be such a fun video idea if I were to die. It's like a
the allergen slide.
Yeah, the allergen gauntlet.
We could do an allergy test together.
That would be really cool.
Because I don't know what I'm allergic to. I keep thinking I'm allergic to cats and like dust. And then sometimes I am and then sometimes I'm not, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Here's the thing with that though. Would you rather live in blissful ignorance?
No, I want to know. I want to know. What if I'm like deathly allergic to something? Like, oh, if you eat a cicada, you're gonna die. And I'm like, fuck. That was next week's podcast video.
So I don't think they'll test for that.
They should.
They don't just have a blanket test for everything and it comes back and it's like giraffes.
Oh, there's spots. If you look at them, you'll die.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We should also do like a pain tolerance test to see who can get the most paddle slaps on the ass.
Oh god, have you seen those TikToks from the dude that dresses up like a mime and he like hits his shins with like
yeah. And then he's like,
he's not supposed to make a noise. And people are doing that a bit with harmonicas. They would put a harmonica on the
we can do that. We can make a Brain League TikTok account and do all of the stuff that's been done before.
Oh yeah, did we talk about that the show is called Brain League?
Yeah, you're just like reaffirming the point of why it's called Brain League.
Brain League, baby.
We also wanted to figure out something with ADHD. We couldn't really think of anything. A dumb hoedown is one I came up with, but that's not. It's very specific.
I think it's clever.
All dogs heaven do. After dinner, hairy dicks.
Well, hey, for next episode, all of you, why don't you give us some podcast name suggestions?
We're not going to pick them, but we'll laugh at them.
Yeah.
Pick our best ones out of a hat.
And maybe there will be one where we go, oh.
Change the logo from a brain to a stingray.
Fuck.
The stingrays!
This could have been, the podcast could have been called, This is What Killed Steve Irwin Podcast.
The only podcast to listen to before you die. Oh, like two-way traffic. That's a good name for a podcast. That's a great name for a duo podcast. Two-way traffic.
Two-way traffic.
Dual carriageway.
What else?
Sidecar.
Twin
Peaks.
Flames.
Twin Flames.
Twin.
Double Jeopardy. Oh, what's it called?
Omnidirectional. No?
That's not bad. Hypercardioid. Well, I think that has been a very productive first episode of the pod.
I'm excited. This is the first episode.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta.
Well, I think that has been a very productive first episode of the pod.
I'm excited. This is the first episode.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta, you know, get the kinks out. Gotta oil it up. You know.
We'll figure out our kinks.
So yeah, we'll figure it out. Oh, we should do that for an episode. We should go through a list of things and like
see what makes you horny. Do a thing
what
where
makes
you're
you
like,
kink?
you have to sit down and watch so many different types of porn, and it's like whatever puts more blood flow in your cock.
That was an idea. For an honest video, you use like an thermal cam on someone's dick, and then you can see the blood flow, so they can't lie.
Oh, we should do a lie detector test.
Should.
A lot of ideas. You guys can give us some ideas as well. All of it is on the table. It's not even part of the actual podcast episodes. It's all for like extracurricular stuff. And then we can talk about
we'll have to
those
make
things.
a subreddit.
Yep. We have to make everything. So go. Spread the word about the podcast. Subscribe, follow, do all the things. We'll give you more information as the time is coming out. The descriptions will all have it. So spread it everywhere. Number one on trending, baby.
Yeah, come on, let's give it up. Let's get it above Jim Rogan's experiment, huh?
Yeah! I can talk about TRT and gorillas anytime. Let's go.
Anytime we want. That's the beautiful thing about this podcast. We're not nailed down anything.
So I heard about these monkeys that did MDMA and shrooms, and the ones that did shrooms actually smoked.
And you know they really did that.
And what I think is actually kind of amazing about the human that's my Jordan Peterson.
That sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, that's because that's what he is. He's just philosophical Kermit the Frog.
Well, we don't have a sign off. Yes.
Stay nasty, bitches.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2, kind of the Brainly podcast. Shut us out.
I know. People know what it is now. Thank fucking God.
This is the first episode that we recorded that the podcast is actually out.
Okay, context. It's the 6th episode we've recorded. But we backed up a bunch of episodes before this because we thought, hey, if it's coming out, we want to get ahead. Everyone's busy in April. So we got a bunch done. So we had 5 episodes done, and none of them were released yet by the time we got to 5. And now 1 came out, and now we're doing episode 6 as 2 because we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, because Creator Clash just happened. And we were like, well, if the podcast is coming out every Wednesday, we don't want the Creator Clash episodes to come out 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's come out like end of May, if not June.
Yeah. I think before we get into everything, though, I think we should just say like a quick thank you to everybody. The
Yes.
launch of the podcast was so insane. Like, so much bigger than we thought.
We were like, we'll push it hard, but we don't know what'll happen.
No idea.
And then we topped Joe Rogan.
We topped Joe Rogan.
We gave him our top.
We did it, Joe. We did it. God.
Get topped
It's
off.
so weird. I don't know how long. That'll last.
That's up to
like,
the people at home.
I guess. But it's so cool though. Thank you guys for being so excited about it.
Yeah, it really did surprise all of us. Everybody on the team was like, holy shit, what's happening?
Yeah, no, because I thought that it was gonna be like a good solid launch, but seeing it just like skyrocket in the charts and then see it go above Joe Rogan. It's like specifically Joe Rogan. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because we got to number 2 in like some countries, and America was one of them, which most of our audiences were from. But then we were like, everybody beat Joe Rogan, because he's always at the top, because of course he is. Everybody watches that.
Yeah.
But then we were like, just keep going, keep watching. And then one morning we woke up and we were number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the world.
Wild.
And what did we talk about? I talked about shitting my pants and scooping it out with my hands.
But you know, sometimes that's what it takes.
That's
to be
what
the
it
number
takes.
1 podcast in the world.
Brain leak, ass leak.
That's why you guys at home don't have a number 1 podcast. It's because you haven't scooped shit out of your pants with your hands.
You need to shame yourselves more. That's what your 20s are for. You gotta shit yourself. And then your 30s are about profiting off of it.
Exactly. It all came around.
The Creator Clash just happened, and our boy won. Woo! Let's go!
Aaron! Let's go, Aaron!
No! Shut up! Fuck Aaron. Well, Aaron did well too, and I'm very happy.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit more about it, but you won. And everyone afterwards kept coming up to me and was like, oh my god, did you see Ethan? He did so good. He's so amazing in the ring. And I was like, I never fucking doubted him. Am I the only one who never doubted him? I knew he was going to kill him. Everyone was like, yeah! I felt like your pimp walking around being like, never. Everyone I met was like, never doubted him for a second. Never doubted him.
You did it. It was such a weird weekend. It was so much fun.
Talk about it. What are you feeling?
It was just such a weird, surreal experience. In good ways and bad ways, it was really odd training for like 9 months for like 3 minutes of
actual fighting.
actual fighting.
I think the highlight of it was like 6 minutes long for the entire thing.
Yeah, so that was kind of weird. I feel really good about the fight for the most part. My coach, obviously, because he's been boxing for like 35 years, he was extremely correct when he was like, you're going to step into the ring and you're going to forget like 60% of what you learned. Just exactly what happened. Because like during sparring and stuff, I would throw body shots all of the time. I didn't throw a single body shot.
I don't think anyone in the entire event threw body shots. It was like all
Aaron
headshots.
Aaron threw some bodies.
Because that was like the one thing a bunch of people who were into boxing were talking about, that there was no body shots.
Yeah, I forgot everything. I also forgot how to breathe, which was cool.
You didn't have to last longer than me, so luckily for you. So let's walk it back all the way. Were you? Because we did the press conference the day before, and I could tell how nervous you were because you were fidgety.
Yeah.
You have the same tics that I do.
Yeah. So the weigh-ins / press conference were Friday. The fight was on Saturday. The press conference weigh-in thing, I was really nervous. I also I didn't really know how to act because 1, there were 12 fights, so it's 24 people, and 2, it was on S-Van's stream and he was hosting it, and so I was like, I don't really know how I should act. So I was like a little nervous with that. I mean, I think everybody was really nervous, but I also I didn't know how much to talk because I didn't want to say nothing, but I also didn't. There were so many other people there that I didn't want to encroach on anybody's time or anything like that.
No, you did great.
Thank you. It was so weird though.
I imagine it's a big weight off your shoulders now.
Oh my god, it's so odd not having to work out multiple times a day, and also just not having this little thing in the back of my mind of
Yeah, you don't have a deadline anymore.
Yeah, because it was a weird thing where it was a similar nervousness to doing shows for tour or something like that, but it was this bonus thing of doing a show. You get kind of nervous and maybe a little bit of stage fright or whatever, but there's no physical consequences with doing a show. But with this, it's just depending on what happens, I could have serious physical repercussions from this.
Yeah, I found it funny how some of the fighters came out, Michelle came back after her fight, and even though she won, she got absolutely beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then people like you and Alex Wasabi came out and was like, did you guys even fight? Like, what happened? And then Ian was over in the corner looking like a dog who was kicked in the street.
Yeah. It was funny seeing like the gala on Sunday and having everybody be dressed up, and then some of the fighters coming in just like, oh, you look so good, and then they turn around and their faces just fucked.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Were you in a car accident on the way here? No, Michelle looked cool though. She had like a beautiful dress on, and then she had like this big black eyes. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
badass. I don't know.
She looked like a raccoon. Yeah, it was so good though, and like, again, I said this in the ring and obviously in person too, but I felt really, I felt very honored to fight Lee. He was a really, really great opponent and trained really hard. He was someone that Ian and Anissa almost had to like convince me to fight, because in the beginning I was very afraid to fight him because he's bigger than me, and he's like very muscly and stuff, and so I was very afraid to fight him in the beginning. But it was really, really awesome, and like he and I getting to talk afterwards, and just have this like mutual respect was really, really cool. And that was my favorite thing about Creator Clash, is like no one had any like dumb beef. Like everybody had the mutual respect, like in and out of the ring, which was cool, because like everyone I feel like gave it their all once we stepped in the ring, because I would have felt bad if we got in there and like someone didn't try hard or anything like that, you know, because it's like you want a good fight after training for such a long time.
Yeah, and everybody was chill afterwards, and so many people took pictures with each other and at the gala and everything. Because people online only see the stuff that people are posting about it, but then afterwards, we got to see like everyone in and out of the press conference and before and after the fights, and then we got to see each other. Because that's the thing, like you and Leon, he walked out before you, and then you just came out of the other dressing room and walked out right after him. So it's not like you're separated like dogs in a cage, like barking at each other. It was just like, hey, good luck.
Yeah. I don't know how it was last year, but yeah, the dressing rooms in the back, or the locker rooms, were all in the same place. It was just across the hall. And so yeah, right before the fight, it was just like, okay, we're about to punch each other.
Can't wait to fight
See you in a minute.
Yeah, it was cool though. Cool atmosphere. I'm glad you asked us to do the walk on as well, because I got to feed a little bit of that, like, whoa, that's cool.
It was wild. Yeah, you and Sean and Baby No Money walked
me and
out.
Sean.
You and Mark.
It's okay. Jack and Sean both came out. I finally got
Jack
to meet Jack.
and Sean came out.
The whole crowd was chanting your name.
That was weird. That was real weird. It was crazy. It was a weird thing watching the fight back, because in the ring I didn't hear anything.
Really?
And I like didn't see anything except for like everything. Once we touched gloves, everything like shrunk.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really odd. And like I could only hear like my coach's voice, and I could see Lee, and that was like kind of it.
And the crippling self-doubt in the back of your head.
Exactly.
I did notice at one point when you knocked him, and that clip of you like, fuck yeah, I did it, and you like turned to go back to the corner. I did notice that you like, during the fight, you like looked down at us to be like, I got it, I did it.
I got him.
And we were all just like, let's go!
It was so cool, like having everybody in that corner, like all of my friends and all of my family just in that one little corner, and so when I did win, it was just like, ah!
Yeah,
so
there's some really cool shots came out of that, of you like in the corner. I mean, one of them is your Twitter profile picture now, where you look jacked as all hell, high on yourself, being like, fuck yeah!
It's so fun.
I think it's cool though. I think you're like me, where you try to like humble everything, and you're like, I don't want to brag too much about what I did, and I don't want to like get too big for my boots. But I want to say that you did very well, and I'm very proud of you. And I literally, the whole time I was like, you're not gonna lose. I've seen you train. I know how tough you are. You're like a little dense ball, and you have your background and everything. And I just knew you would win the whole time. And I was like, now you just need to convince yourself that you're gonna win.
Yeah, it was like a weird little mind thing where I was confident in myself that I was gonna do really well, but I was like, you know, I don't necessarily know what he looks like, so anything could happen. And even if he was like really bad or something like that, you can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time and get hit with something and then you go down.
Yeah, and it's different when there's a crowd there and everyone's like chanting different things. You don't know if people like you or don't, and it just gets in your head. I mean, it's the same if you play a game normally and then you live stream. It's like, man, I'm so much worse at this when people are watching me.
Yeah.
So when you actually have to fight somebody and not spar them, and they're trying to like, you're not thinking about technique and tactics, like body shot, head shot. Well, I'm sure big boxers do, but in that moment, it's like just pure adrenaline, pure instinct.
Yeah, which that was one of the things that I felt really bad about during the fight was I hit him in the back of the head a couple of times, and there was like one time in particular where I like really nailed him in the back of the head.
Well, kinda, but you just swung a punch and then he turned, so
yeah,
it's not even really a 50-50. It's like you're not supposed to turn your back like that in the middle of the fight.
It's one of those things where like it was funny because like both of us were kind of getting shit on Twitter for it. But it's one of those things where it's like neither of us have enough experience to prevent that. Like he shouldn't have turned, and if I was a more experienced boxer, I would have been able to in the moment recognize to not punch and pull. But I'm not. So it's just like if I'm swinging, I'm following through.
I mean, again, it's pure instinct. You don't really know. It's easy to watch it and be like, I would have stopped my arm. It's like, well, if you're trying to hit someone as hard as you can't really stop it halfway.
Yeah. And then people were like, oh, Ethan, he's so nice, that's so cute. Because there's a clip right after that where we start up again, and I like go to tap his gloves, and you can see me say, I'm sorry. And a bunch of people, I think, interpreted that as I was saying that I was sorry for punching him at all. Because they're like, oh, he's in a boxing match and he's apologizing for hitting him in the face. And he's like, no, I was apologizing because I, like, nailed him on the back of the head.
Yeah, well, that's why the commentators are so good, because I watched the fight back, and because when we were in the arena, we can't hear the commentators, so it wasn't until the fighting was done.
Could you hear them, like, the commentary at all through the speakers?
No. So it was only when Mark and I went up to do the post-show that for some of it then, like everything was already done. So when we had the thing in our ear, then we could hear them. So it was like the final fight we got to hear the commentary team. But they were saying like during your fight that when you knocked him by hitting him in the back of the head, they were like, oh, the crowd's going to love that, but it's not going to count. So I think that's why it's important to have them talk about it. And why it's important to have like really experienced people. Because people thought Mark and I were going to be doing that, like talking about the fight. Like me, Mark, and Charlie were going to be on the side of the ring. I'm like, Charlie's there to like fill the comedic gap, but Charlie also admits that he doesn't know what he's talking about with boxing. Yeah. He's getting better at it, but the other two are there to actually give proper commentary and know what's happening and say the proper terminology and the fighting techniques.
I think that the commentary team was so good because they had Wade Clements, who was there last year. I don't really know his background all that much. I know that I think he used to fight, and now he just does boxing content. And then they had Tony Jeffries, who was an Olympic boxer.
An actual legend.
Yeah, and then Charlie, a legend in his own right for different reasons. But I think he like really filled it out well, where it's like, okay, you get the people who know what they're talking about, and then the internet man to appease the internet.
Yeah, and not only that, but Charlie's a short king, and he embraces that so much. So when there's like, we got to see a clip of them, and it was like all three of them, and it's like the two guys, and then Charlie's like barely in frame. So I love that he just kind of like leans into it and has fun with that.
Yeah, he does. I was watching some of the fights in the locker room, and when the Chris Reagan fight was happening, because Chris is, I think he's like 5'4" or something like that. Charlie was talking about that the whole time. It was like, as a fellow short king, I really wanted to see Chris come out with a W.
Oh, poor Chris. Chris didn't get to do his whole fight, which is called off way too early.
There was a lot of fights that I think could have gone on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, people get upset about it, but I also understand where it's like, from a referee's point of view, other than the repeat fighters, obviously, it's like, this is everyone's first time boxing, and so nothing is worth having, like, a horrible injury. So when they see an inkling of, like, oh, this is not looking good, it's better for them to step in than not. So, like, it does suck, but I appreciate that they're like, okay, we're not going to fuck around.
Yeah, safety's really important. Again, it's a charity event, and not like a fully, like all the fights aren't sanctioned, like the last fight is, but the rest of them are like, we're kind of here for fun more than anything else, we take it seriously, but you don't want to get like fucked up in the head for a charity event that isn't sanctioned. It's not worth it.
I think the fights were really, really good overall. Though, like everything compared to last year, and I might be a little bit biased, but like I feel like Creator Class 2 compared to Creator Class 1, it was just like put together better. But I feel like all of the fights were way more even.
Oh yeah, they were way better this year. That was like the first thing I said to Ian the day after. He was like,
Yeah.
How was it? Was it good? And I was like, it's way better than last year. So it was way more fun to watch.
So much fun. And like, you know, it is kind of funny seeing like a dad versus Matt Watson, but having an actual like nail biter where it's like almost every fight went all the rounds, it's just so much more fun.
Sean, have you ever cut off your balls?
Yes, I have. I have cut off my balls before because I was using a trimmer that had teeth that were way too sharp and way too exposed. So true story, I legitimately cut the skin of my balls once.
The seam?
Yeah, like right where goods meet other goods.
Well, let me tell you, if you don't want that to happen, I have a solution for you. And it is from Manscaped. Manscaped has the new Performance Package 4.0. And it's a goddamn game changer.
Oh, it's gonna change your balls forever, because inside that package you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. I've got enough bush for the rest of us. I know what it takes to cut it all off. Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. And I'll tell you, I've used them, and I actually really like them. They made my balls feel great.
And honestly, the Performance Boxer Briefs, no joke, are the most comfortable that I have ever owned. They're very soft.
And I wanted to see if the same thing would happen again, so I trimmed my balls with their lawnmower, and I didn't cut myself.
If you want your balls to be as soft as the underwear included in the package, use.
It also had a little light on it so I could see where I was going.
Yes, and it's 4,000 Kelvin.
It's also waterproof, so if you drop it on the floor, you use it in the shower, don't even worry about it.
And it's so convenient that it's waterproof because you can use it in the shower, or you can use it outside with your hose, wherever you need it.
Wherever you
it's
trim your
there
balls.
for you.
So, if you want to get that, get 20% off and free shipping with the code BRAINLEAK at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use code BRAINLEAK.
Protect your balls.
Protect your balls from the tyranny of 21st century. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring BrainLeak.
Thanks, Manscaped. I was gonna ask what it was like on your end of things, doing the pre-show and everything like that, because I didn't get to see any of that.
That was easy. That is just bullshitting for an hour, which I do here anyway.
Hell yeah, baby.
It was more comprehensive than I thought, because when we got there they had a beat sheet, so it wasn't like a script, but it was like, at this time you have 2 minutes to talk about this, and then you have 4 minutes to talk about this, and then we're going to go through each of the fights. So you have to look at the preview, you have to look at their stats, then we look at their training. So we had to like hit beats all the time, but the guy sat us down and like ran through it. We were like, yeah, this is easy. So we would just trade off back and forth who talked about what.
Did you guys lean into not knowing boxing stuff? Of just like, oh man, that right hook really looked good, I think.
I think we wanted to, but there was no time. Everything was like flying by so quick, and we didn't really have that much time to talk about the fights anyway. There was a moment where we started talking about your fight, and we were like, we want to talk about this one a lot, because I was like, he's our little baby brother. We gotta take this seriously and talk about him. And then they were like, okay, now move on to the next fight. And Mark was like, no! We're not moving on! We gotta talk about this! And I was like, we kind of have to, though. We're here to do a job. It's not about us.
It was so great seeing different clips on Twitter. And there's this one in particular that was going around where I won, and it just, like, in the corner you could see you and Mark just go, like, ballistic. It was so fun.
Yeah, I had my heart in my mouth the entire time, and every time, like all the other fights, I was like, yeah, get him. I was like, ooh, bad hit, and then when you got hit, I was like, the fuck is happening? I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, that's it. And then you would have been, that's our boy! Hey, boy! That's my son!
That's so fun.
It was really fun. And then Mark and I were like practice fighting, like Mark was like, oh, I want to fight now, and I was like doing this, and then somebody recorded that, and I didn't know anyone was filming us, so I was just like in the distance, me and Mark like punching shit out of each other.
Doesn't it make you want to fight though? Like,
It does.
especially being there in person, it's just like, oh man, there's so much energy, and like all the energy is so good, and like I don't know, it was wild.
I do like the idea of boxing, because I think as growing up in Ireland, we have a bunch of like Olympic boxers and really, really high-end boxers in our country. And I think watching those growing up, I was like, man, that's cool. And then watching you guys train and everything, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because I know if I trained really hard, I have that same like explosive energy that you would have. I know that I can throw like a mean punch if I have to. But does that mean I'm good at technique? Who knows? Will it be fun to try? But at the same time, I was thinking, I don't want to get hit in the head over and over again. And I've been to a neurologist 3 times in the last like 2 years for migraines and headaches, and I have back issues and neck issues and bowel issues and tinnitus
issues and crack issues.
and no bitches, no honeys. So I'm like, I don't even think my doctors would clear me to go fight anybody, let alone if I wanted to.
Yeah, you have to get a bunch of like blood work done and an eye test. Your eyes are fine though.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I do get ocular migraines though. So I get like shimmers in my vision, and I get like dots of light every now and then. So I think those types of things, if I got punched in the head a couple of times, it would probably make those worse.
I didn't believe it until it happened, but I was talking to some of the other people that fought last year, before my fight, because as the day went on, it got like more and more real that it was about to happen, and it was a mix of like getting more nervous for my fight because it was getting closer and closer, but also feeling more comfort because every time someone went out to fight, they would come back alive. And so it was like, oh man, like everyone's going out there, they're fighting, they're coming back, like it's okay, like some people are a little beat up, but like it's fine. But everyone was like, yeah man, there's so much adrenaline and there's so much energy that you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
And that was very true. Like, I did not feel like getting hit in the head hard. Like there's like a little flash almost, but you don't feel anything. Your head just moves, and then you're just like, oh, I got hit.
I'm
Okay,
disassociating.
cool. Keep going. I do this all the time anyway. Time has passed, and I haven't realized it, even if it's just a split second.
Yeah, your ADHD kicks in, and it's like, am I getting hit? I don't know. Wow, I got hit in the face.
Whoa, let's keep touching. Keep going.
Imagine if you got into the ring and you went full easy, and it's like, okay, Leon, it's time to smack face.
To go.
And then in between rounds, you're just looking over and be like,
I did you real good. You gotta give it to me, Lee. I did pretty good. I did pretty good.
Leon, I'm scared.
Leon, help me, Leon.
Oh, what a weekend.
What a weekend.
I just gotta sit around and mooch all weekend.
But how was it as far as, because I'm sure that Ian and Anissa would love to know. Also, very quick, I want to give a shout out to Ian and Anissa because they were, and everybody at Real Good Touring for like putting on the production side of everything. Like,
Yeah.
looked, I think, compared to any of the other like influencer boxing things, as far as the stream and everything like that, like it looks so good production wise.
Yeah, it looks like a legit fight.
Yeah, like way above any other one. But Ian and Anissa throughout the entire thing were so helpful. They were both like parents, like going to everybody and just making sure that everybody was comfortable and like answering any questions, and like they were just really, really, really awesome.
Yeah, and even on my end, like they were super nice the whole weekend. Making sure everybody was having a good time.
That is like almost to a fault. Not almost, to a fault. Like they're so worried about everybody else like having a good time and making sure they're okay that they don't pay enough attention to themselves to make sure like, are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Which I think they did, but they also like they don't give themselves credit for anything.
Yeah, no, they did a great job.
So great. So great. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to them and say thank you for having me a part of the event and just like being so helpful through everything and like being able to just text them and check in and be like, hey, like here's footage of me sparring, like how do I look? Or like, hey, like I'm a little down on weight, how can I like increase my weight quicker? Like anything like that. Yeah, it was so great. So I'm just very grateful that they're at the helm and they're so helpful.
Shout out Justin, our best boy.
Shout out Justin, our best baby boy.
He basically organized the whole thing. I was so busy all weekend. I was like, how you doing, Justin? He was like, I'm doing good. Yeah, this is great. It's like you're stressed, aren't you? I was like, no.
But now it's over. Our boy can rest. Our baby
In peace. He died.
He died in the ring. It was a secret after fight that the world saw. It was all of the RGT staff versus the event.
Yeah, it turns out the secret code to get that fight to unlock was twist his dick. Which is all anyone in the arena was chanting. No matter who was fighting, no matter who had a dick or who didn't.
Did they chant it during my fight? Twist his dick?
No, it was just twist his dick for everybody. After they were chanting Ethan, it was twist his dick.
Yeah. What is that from?
I don't know if it's wrestling or UFC or something, but it's like a clip of people watching a fight and there's like drunk guys in the audience. He's like, yeah, twist his dick off! The old dick twist! And the guy's like filming like selfie camera. He's like, yeah! Like trying to go along with
do
it.
that!
Yeah, twist his dick! Like goading him on. Oh, you know what you should have done when you won? You should have went, who do you think you are? I am!
I am!
Oh, that would've been
Or I
incredible.
just go up on the rope, just, I did it! I twisted his dick! He has no dick!
Anyway, that was creative hash. Ethan won. We're all very proud. Now, on to the real battles that have been happening since, which is the Twitter verification system.
Oh,
What a war zone we are in. Humanity's
Elon,
fighting for
get
its
the
life.
ring.
I want to see Elon fight Jeff Bezos in the ring.
Oh, dude. CEO boxing? Fuck yeah. Put Brent Lilly in the ring.
Oh, what if they did like robot wars, but it's like human androids? Elon versus Mark Zuck.
What was that movie with Hugh Jackman? Was it Real Steel? Yeah.
Yeah, I want someone to pilot Elon like a mech. Just get in and start punching the shit out of people.
I do feel like that's already happening. Like he's already an android, and there's just a little tiny alien man in his skull.
It's like Men in Black, where you see then like the face opens and there's just like a tinier Elon inside.
That's what's happening. He bought us all Twitter Blue, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, he did, and he got rid of it because he was like, no, it's elitist for everybody to have a status symbol like that. And then he was like, you have to pay for it instead, which we were all like, no, never. And then he took them away on 420, because of course. And then he gave them back to people who were over 1 million followers, which just puts us back in the first bracket again.
Yeah.
But it made it seem like we all paid for it, which we didn't. So I was like, I don't want this. So I changed my layout to be like, that'll show him. And I got rid of it for a brief period of time, but it'll probably be back.
Which we were talking about right before we started recording. It's like, that is such a weird, dumb thing that, like, if you're verified and you change your name, like, not like your username, but just like your profile name, or you change your profile image, it takes away your verification.
Yeah,
Like,
but
why
it
does that happen?
It visually takes it away, but you still have the same things. Because before, if you changed your handle, your verification would go away, which makes sense, because that's your actual account name. But yeah, now if if you changed yours from Craig to Ethan, it would be like, sorry, we don't know who you are. We don't know him.
No idea.
Who do you know here? What do you know?
Also, everybody has the verified tab now.
Yeah, everybody did once they started paying for it. But now it's there for everybody. You just can't see anything unless you pay for it.
So stupid. But then he implemented the other like badges where he's like, this will help with impersonation, and it's like, dude, you're making this new stuff that is all what the verification.
It's just what it was before, but now it has extra steps. Listen, I'm always of the mindset that if something has been free for what, like 10 years, then you don't pay for it 10 years later. Imagine if Netflix was free for this long and then suddenly they're like, yeah, we're going to start charging people $8. It's one thing to start charging more, but at least just let people keep their verifieds and then add editing to that. Or I don't know. I don't fucking run Twitter, and that's a good thing, because I don't know what I'm doing, and neither does he.
Neither does he.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because it's only Twitter.
This is true. I kind of want to see it just until the whole website dies.
Yeah, I've been very close to like deleting my account or privating it, or just leaving it altogether. Like, I don't care enough about any of this, but it's nice to keep up with friends through.
That's all I want, and I think that they won't do it because they know that their user base will plummet. I want a Twitter DMs app, like Facebook has Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, they won't do that. There's no money in that.
No, they won't.
Anyway, the battlefield of the 21st century is Twitter.com, and we'll see who comes out on top. The bodies are laying down, forming the trenches of warfare for future generations to be able.
Yes, and at the top of the pile of bodies being placed Joe Rogan.
Another little dense ball. And then he's just up on top like an android. He's like, Alex, pull that up. Pull that up, Alex. Have you ever seen a gorilla fight a chimp?
I saw a really funny video pop up this morning on TikTok, which is Joe Rogan just going, did you see the video of the grizzly bear that I posted on Instagram this morning? And the guy's like, no, and he just goes, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, look how big this motherfucker is. And it's just a video of a grizzly bear, but it's so fucking funny seeing how excited he gets about the grizzly bear. It's so good.
Yeah, that's. I wanna ask Joe Rogan who'd fight, or who's gonna fight, grizzly bear or silverback gorilla, and just have his brain be like, ooh, what? That's like his, what's it, the Manchurian Candidate, like your phrase or Winter Soldier phrase.
Yep.
It's just like, Alex, pull that up. He's like,
he's probably discussed that, right?
oh, absolutely.
Probably. Also, I think the answer is the bear.
Yes.
For the bear.
I've always said the bear, but people are like, Aaron's always like, we don't know how strong a gorilla is. I'm like, that, who cares? We don't know how much they can bench. And I'm like, he's not benching anything. I can bench more than I can punch.
We went to the San Diego Zoo because I helped him film a power hour, and he kept bringing that up. And I love Aaron to pieces. But it was one of those things where he was like, you can't measure how strong a gorilla is, or like, we've never done it, or something like that. And I was like, have we been measuring the strength of other animals? Because how do we do that?
Did we do the bear already?
Yeah, because it's like, how do we know if the bear was benching to his full potential?
I always say that it's, oh my god, we actually just turned into Joe Rogan right now. We are the top of Spotify right now, so we have to fill that gap.
Listen, guys, if you want to get big and strong, only eat elk meat and do DMT.
And eat raw liver. But I've always said the grizzly bear will win because nobody actually knows anything about bears whenever they say the gorilla. And then a zoo, what's that zoo account on Twitter, like Team Zoo or something? They backed me up, and I was like, thank you. You know what's up. I'll take my confirmation bias anywhere I can get it. Hey, Ethan. You have trouble speaking most of the time.
I have trouble speaking all of the time.
I don't even know if you know English sometimes.
Let me tell you, I don't really.
Exhibit A. So I have a service for you. Brain Leak is also brought to you by Babble.
Babble, Edie.
That's because when you're talking, you're babbling.
You're babbling about. You're going, we're off and got not to learn another language like Spanish or German or Korean or English.
Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Whether you'll be traveling abroad, connecting in a deeper way with your family. Have you ever tried to learn a second language?
I have tried with multiple different applications and online softwares, but nothing has really gotten my brain to connect the language on.
Well, that's okay, because Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. I'm speaking English right now.
That is crazy.
Babbel's expertly crafted lessons are built around real life. You learn how to have practical conversations about travel, relationships, business, and more.
You're not just gonna learn, oh, where's the bathroom? Oh, this is a library.
Can I have apple?
You're gonna learn how to speak like a real person that knows the language.
And their methods have been proven to be scientifically valid, effective, and accurate.
In English, scientists know how things work.
I thought you were going to say,
True.
in English, science is English. Or in English, science is science.
There's so many ways to learn with Babbel, Sean. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. You're not just flipping through flashcards. It is engaging, it is fun, and it's different than any other language learning platform.
공부할거예요. That means I'm going to study in Korean.
And I'm going to too. With Babbel!
Is that English?
Uh-huh. Or it could have been any other language, but because you're learning with Babbel, it kind of almost seems like English because it's just coming so naturally. Because it's lessons that you learn with Babbel. But how do I get it?
Oh, you can go to babbel.com/brain.
That's babbel.com/brain.
Up to 55% off your subscription. And a 20-day money-back guarantee.
You don't even have to learn a second language to know that that's a good deal, because math is the universal language. 55%, that's over half off.
And if you want to learn what we're talking about in this podcast, because we can't string a sentence together, get Babbel.
Language for life. Creator Clash 3, we're gonna have a gorilla and the grizzly bear.
Yeah.
So here's
Or
the
two
thing,
human
is like,
equivalents.
gorillas are really strong, blah blah blah, whatever.
Wait,
But
I was going to say, we did have that fight. It was Harley versus John. John's the gorilla and Harley's the big grizzly bear.
oh god, you're right.
And the gorilla won! Fuck!
Dude, that was wild, seeing him fall out of the ring.
You could feel it. We were like 20 yards away and you could actually feel the floor shake. It was like all of that man hitting the ground.
I was so sad because I didn't get to see it when it happened, because I was getting like my wraps cut out and stuff like that. Yeah. God, they have Subway in the back. Subway, if you're eating Subway every day, if you're eating Subway every day,
That'll happen to you.
that'll happen, but I just want you to check in with yourself. I've had a lot of friends that have had really rough times in their life, and every time they have a Subway, a Subway.
Yeah, you've hit bedrock if Subway is your go-to.
It was very funny. Right before the fight, Jocelyn, who, if you guys don't know, is my assistant, and so she was with me the whole time, and she was like, "What do you need for after the fight?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, like, there's water back here. They have like food and stuff," which I didn't know that once they wrap you up. So they have. We're going off on a little bit of a tangent. We'll get back to the gorilla and the bear. Don't worry about this, because that's really what you're worried about. So everything is commissioned through the boxing commission of whatever. So it's all very official. And so they have somebody back there from the commission that wraps everybody's hands up, and then they have a person that watches that person wrap.
So you don't hide Beyblades in your hands as you're fighting.
Exactly. But once your hands are wrapped, you are not allowed to leave the locker room. You're not allowed to pee or go to the bathroom without being like supervised. Like someone from the commission has to go into the bathroom with you. But you're not allowed to eat anything or drink anything other than water, which I didn't know. And so I was like, yeah, I'll eat a little bit like right before I go and fight. Like I'll eat like a banana or something and like a little bit of chocolate just to get a little bit of energy. And then they were like, yeah, you can't eat or drink anything. I was like, fuck.
That was a great story. I'm so glad we all sat down to listen to that.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. But the
Anyways,
gorilla.
So the gorilla would get killed. So easy.
Because the weight alone and the size.
Yeah.
The grizzly bear is like 7 feet tall or some shit. Jamie, pull it up. What is this? Hold on. I have to find out.
Jamie, pull up the clip of us making fun of Joe Rogan. Which is every episode. Is that the bit we're going with? Is that going to be our thing every week? Is that like everybody's standard bit in podcasting is to just make fun of Joe Rogan? Because it's fair, because he says a lot of dumb shit, but...
Grizzly bears are typically 3 to 5 feet tall when they're standing on all fours.
I was going to say, what kind of, like, babies?
But grizzly bears standing on their hind legs can reach almost 9 feet tall. It's 2.7 meters.
Holy God.
Fucking gigantic. And then, on top of that, grizzlies weigh up from 700 to 900 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
So much.
Isn't 1,000 pounds a ton? Metric system, I don't know. But that's close to a ton, if not already a ton.
Between 315 kilos, or 317 and 400 kilos.
That's a lot.
How much?
That's like having your mom on top of you.
This is not even a contest in my mind. Because it's just the mass. Male gorillas weigh upwards of 350 pounds.
Jeez, it's way less. That's like half the minimum of the bear.
I know. And also, so the gorilla has...
You're getting so into this now.
The gorilla has its muscles, and it's got stamina, right? And it can throw itself around, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the bear not only has the weight and the strength, but it's got these big, meaty claws.
Meaty claws. And it's just...
It does.
It's like getting hit with a table tennis paddle with claws on it.
Yeah, it's got
massive.
this big ass thing. It's like the big fucking cutting boards that they use to take pizza out of the oven. It's like God.
Bears have like extra thick hide. They also are like. Have you ever seen them like chase down moose?
Yeah, it's crazy.
When have we ever seen? There's a reason that we put gorillas in captivity, but we don't put grizzly bears in captivity.
Grizzly bears are in captivity, I think.
No, those are illusions. Those are optical illusions.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Those are tiny bears. Those are beta bears. Those are the ones that are lazy. And everyone's always like, but gorillas have like human-like intelligence. It's like, yeah, we're fucking idiots. We think too much.
Also, yeah, they're smart, but like they're smart in the way that they can like maybe do sign language or whatever. They're not gonna like
It's not gonna
break
pull out a
down
gun.
their fight and be like, oh man, I really need to like dodge.
It's like, yeah, so he has the weight
grizzly.
and height advantage, so I need to be quicker. And if I put this rock together with this branch, I can make like an AK-47 out of it. It's like Batman versus Superman. It's like gorilla would win with prep time.
Also, in that scenario where a gorilla and a grizzly bear are fighting, I don't think intelligence makes a difference because at that point it's all survival instinct.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Have you ever seen
matter.
those videos of like grizzly bears fighting and he just like paws the other guy's bottom jaw off?
Did you guys ever see The Revenant? Come on.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio is basically a gorilla.
And people are like, he couldn't even kill him. He won an Oscar for it. Who
Yeah,
would
that's
win?
true.
Paddington versus... Who would Paddington go up against?
Tarzan's dad, whatever his name is. I can't remember.
Hair guy.
Kerchak.
Kerchak?
Kerchak.
That's made up. Kerchak.
Yeah, that whole movie's made up.
Everything's made up. Language is made up.
The whole thing. Well, so now, also, again, for context, this is the second episode because we wanted to.
Nobody can see you do air quotes if they're listening on Spotify.
Oh, I did air quotes.
Just no. You have to say it in that. This is the second episode.
This is the second episode.
Yeah, there we go.
But it's the sixth. So after this, the
Third.
actual second episode.
Yeah.
But this is all a segue to be like, this is the first time that we're answering questions from the actual email.
just doing tweets, and we all know how shitty Twitty is.
Yeah, thanks, Elon.
Thanks.
Bitch.
Thanks,
So now,
pussy boy.
it's time for our wonderful, horrific, great advice segment. Cue the theme song. We have that.
Ethan and Sean, bad advice. It's bad advice with Ethan and Sean. That's it. Make a musicality out of that. So you guys have to give us good stuff. Questions@brainleakpod.com. I can't remember if we said the right address last time, if we just said brainleak.com. We're idiots. Our brains are leaking.
It's questions@brainleakpod.com.
All our little leakies can go there. That's what you guys are called. Our leakies. Our little leaky leakers. You know, I have the LA Lakers. Where are the Lakers from?
The LA Leakers.
Where are the Lakers from?
Yeah, LA.
Okay, yeah, it's the LA Lakers. I was like, Lakers, Dodgers, both? Can't remember.
Yes. Both.
I don't know. What is this? Go my favorite sports podcast? No, this is fucking dumb idiot podcast where brains collide.
But we're number one. That's all that matters.
Yeah! Not even in comedy podcasts, but in all podcasts. Oh, baby. Oh. Put that in! That's my challenge!
Hey!
Okay, you go. What's the first bad advice we have?
Alright. I've been eating. Okay.
I've been eating ass my entire life. How do I spice it up?
Just put some tahini in it.
Put some sriracha.
Ooh. This is from Anthony Moore. Thank you, Anthony, for sending in your question to questions
That's a leaker
at
right there.
brainleakpod.com.
Leaker.
That's a leaker, dude. LA leakers. I've been eating paper since I was in kindergarten. I eat all kinds. Sheets of paper, paper towels, tissues, toilet paper. Don't worry. I make sure I'm eating the part without anything on it. But mistakes have happened a few times. And basically every other type of paper. Is it healthy to do this? Should I stop? Thank you so much, Anthony, for your fantastic question.
I think that is perfectly healthy. How else are you going to get fiber in your diet? I bet you stay legs. I bet Anthony's just shitting on the legs.
God, I can't imagine how regular he must be.
Not only that, but he's on the toilet shitting and pissing, and then just taking toilet paper, eating it. Is he eating it, or is that like his only dietary supplement?
It doesn't say. Should we both try a piece of paper?
I have paper here. Here's for the listeners at home. I have a little piece of paper. That's a lot of piece of paper.
Yeah,
that you
no,
have.
I'm gonna cut it off.
Okay.
I've got this piece of paper. I don't know what kind of paper this is, Anthony. I'm sure that you're a connoisseur at this point.
Ethan's is dotted. What do you call that?
It's like gridded.
Like bullet journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like has dots points on it. Mine's just lined. So we'll see. I'm going to do lines right now. Let's nozzle tough.
Mine is kind of rough.
Yeah, it's not an enjoyable experience.
No, it really degrades in quality really quick. It's like eating shitty gum.
Yeah, it's like chewing gum that doesn't have any rubber in it and has no flavor.
It's like gum where after you've been chewing it for a really long time, it starts to get really gross.
Yeah.
Should we swallow it?
Sure.
Did you swallow it?
Yeah, I already did.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a bigger piece. You got to work that. Yeah, make sure. Get your saliva going. Use that amylase. This is like hot ones.
All gone. Damn.
Oh, dude, he did the bomb.
God damn.
He did the dab on that one.
I didn't get anything from that.
Is this a thing where like every time you look at a piece of paper you have to have it? Is it a sexual thing, Anthony? You put it in your mouth because you just want to show that paper who's boss?
I would like to inquire, Anthony, about. You said don't worry, make sure I'm eating the part without anything on it. But mistakes have happened a few times.
Well, we talking about like shit on your paper, or are we talking about like, oh, I ate my shopping list. I took notes for class and I ate them. Sorry, I didn't do my homework. I ate it. I don't have a dog. I ate it.
I ate it. It has to be poop.
Anthony, what I would say is fuck this paper nonsense. Go to the source. Time to become full beaver and go straight out to a redwood forest and just start chomping at some bark.
Because at least with that, you get so much more flavor and texture because the page is really, it leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, it's not on the page right now. You just need to get some sap.
It's kind of like if you were to eat a salad without any dressing or anything else in it. You're just eating raw lettuce. It's like, I can.
There is a flavor.
It's very bland.
Yeah, it's giving bland, Anthony.
It is giving bland. But if you go out to the tree, you get so much texture, you get so much crunch,
And then try shitting that out.
A delight to the senses.
You could be a carpenter. You shit out a chair. Whittle a little
Jesus.
doll in your intestines.
Jesus did that. He was a carpenter. He turned water into wine and he shat out a fucking chair.
He made the crucifix himself. He shat it out of his ass.
Hold on, his dad wasn't a carpenter.
Isn't Joseph the carpenter?
I guess a carpenter of the world.
He was a person engineer.
Jesus was the carpenter, wasn't he?
I don't know.
How else did he make all the Bible?
Oh, you should eat the Bible.
Oh shit! It's like holy water, but it's holy paper. You eat it.
The book of Matthew echoes the scene, but instead attributes the profession to Joseph, Jesus' adopted father, with onlookers asking, "Isn't this the carpenter's son?" Don't try and quote religion to the Irishman. I was there when it was written.
Yeah, I went to church like 2 times, and then this is a true story. My dad sat me down and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be going to church anymore? Like, do you like it?" And I went, "No, it's kind of boring." And he goes, "Yeah, I think it's boring too. We don't have to go anymore." He was like, "Fuck, yes, it is boring."
He was like, "My son's going to be a top G." It's like, "Hey, yeah, you like church? You like God?
You like God?"
And you were like,
"No, Dad, I don't even know where he came from." I would go to Sunday school and I would get very bored notes a day, and I would count the bricks on the walls.
that shows you how involved Mass actually is. Because I never listened to a damn thing, and then the priest would be like, "Here comes the sermon," and I'm like, "I have Pokemon to be playing. Shut the fuck up."
I can't remember if we talked about this on the podcast, but
Organized religion.
do they have to have a liquor license?
That's a good point. Are they just fucking moonshining in the back of the church?
Yeah.
Fucking bootleggers.
Or is it just like having wine at your house because it's the house of God?
I imagine seeing a bunch of like missionaries just like stirring the vat. It's like, it's fine. God told me to do it.
the priest is in there with his toes stomping on the grapes.
Yeah, and he's in the vat and he's just like, that's why it's called the Vatican. Oh, it's just a big vat of wine. It's just the Grape Central.
Grape Central, that's where all the wine comes from.
Oh, and that's why it's called the Pope, because that's the sound the grapes make when you step on them.
I love it's kind of old news now, but I love the AI generated image of the Pope with like the big jacket on.
Michelin Man jacket.
It's so funny, Pope the drip.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Anyway, go eat trees. Instead of touch grass, eat trees.
I think Anthony, you need to level up, because after doing a taste test, the paper was bland and left a lot to be desired. I think that eating trees, something with a bit more texture, I think would really do you well.
Yeah. And this is coming from someone whose favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla. Get out there and try something new. Actually, maybe it's mint chocolate chip. This one comes in from Laura Dyer, and it says, "How can..."
Laura Dern?
Yeah. Natalia Dyer? That's Nancy from Stranger Things. They had a baby and called her Laura Dyer. They ask, "How can my friend get some bitches?" I feel like we're very qualified to talk about bitches. And like you said, #1 podcast in the world. We know exactly how to get them bitches. Dripping in holes.
Yeah, you don't see it, but then
You tell him, Ethan. You tell him how we did it.
how to get bitches.
Some sort of parade. Some sort of peacock display.
Oh man, that would be so good. That's what a real top G would do on a first date. All right, so you have to get past the first.
The formalities.
Yeah, you have to get past the nervousness of asking someone. But you ask them on a date. Maybe you take them out to a nice public park kind of area or an outdoor shopping center. Yes, witnesses all around. And then, out of the corner of your eye, what do you see? Oh no, the old woman is falling down. Oh no, she's falling down and her hands are clutching her heart.
It could be her pacemaker.
Oh, my pacemaker,
It burns.
it burns. Oh, it burns.
It's getting hacked.
You start doing chest compressions, but it's not working. You have to start giving the old woman air. You lean down to give her the kiss of life. And then first of all, the bitches that we brought, they're like, it's the old woman. Who knows what she's doing? But then, the old woman starts to move. Another person comes into frame, starts doing the same thing. It breaks out into an entire flash mob that you helped choreograph. You're up in there, you are dancing around, there's music
Over the
blaring.
speakers, you just hear Jason Derulo.
Exactly. And then a whole like high school marching band
line
comes
band,
in.
drums, snares.
Oh man.
And then you hear as you bust into the eponymous Shrek 2 soundtrack, I Need a Hero.
Oh my god!
As you grab your pants, what was that? They were tearaway pants! Underneath, you're dressed like Magic Mike. The crowd goes equally quiet and loud at the same time.
They cancel each other out. There's no noise. It's like that scene from The Last Jedi where the ship explodes. It's fucking nuts. They don't know what's happening anymore.
The bitch is around. They're in hyperspace. They don't know what's going on. Suddenly, your pecs start dancing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2,
Cha, cha, cha.
my shoe.
1, 2, suck my butt. And
Does that answer your question?
That, friends, is how you make a baby.
Yeah.
What was the question? That is how you get bitches, but that's also how you get that dog in you.
Yeah. No one could ever say, like, in that relationship, you know, if you have troubles later on, they could never be like, I just didn't try hard enough. I choreographed an entire dance with a flash mob on our first date, and I saved an old woman, but it was choreographed, but she was actually having issues with her pacemaker.
Yeah, but little do you know that she was a paid actress, and the part about her falling over and almost dying was not part of it. Now you have to pay her insurance at the hospital. Wherever she goes, St. Mary's, Greg's, you don't know where she's going to go to the hospital. It could cost you equally nothing or everything.
But it's okay because I have so much Bitcoin.
I have doges coming out of my ears. And when your kids ask you,
my crypto wallet is
when your kids ask you,
Papa, how did you meet Mama?
in the background you hear,
Papa.
Jason Derulo.
That was one, that song, but two, also sounded like the theme to How I Met Your Mother. The very start of it.
And that, kids, is how I banged your mom. And 9 months later, you, the disappointment, showed up. I hope that answers. If you don't have the money to do that, I don't know, just stand outside their house with a boombox.
Yeah.
They still have boomboxes. Stand outside their house with an iPod Touch.
Man.
What song do you want to shuffle?
Stand outside their house with an iPod Touch, but we have a
You have one of those speakers that's a Bluetooth, and when you attach it to something, it gets louder. And you just like throw it at the window and stick it.
You have the top of the morning mega mug or whatever it's called.
Oh, that's not for sale anymore. We sold out again.
That is so sad. How big was it? Very.
Yeah, I have one here. I'll show you.
Show me.
audio listeners, I will paint a vivid description for you of how big the mug actually is. It's the size of Sean's balls.
He's whipping his cock out!
It's unreal how big it is.
You fit your whole fist in it.
He's fisting the mug.
Here's a Jacksepticeye for scale.
Oh, it's as big as the Jacksepticeye for scale.
You could fit a whole moist critical in here.
You could fit a whole cup of coffee in there. That's the size of the mug. Should we do one more question?
We can do 2 more.
This comes from Kiva Jean Dalton, or Kiva Jean Dalton. I'm not sure.
And I don't really trust people with 3 names. Just FYI, disclaimer. Why am I
Putting that out there.
Why am I talking about Trump? Disclaimer.
Where did it go?
I don't know. I don't like people with 3 names.
This comes in from Kiva. Should I spice up my panic attacks with tiny harmonicas?
Ooh, yeah!
You don't even have to ask.
I feel like that's the first bionicle implant we should all get, is a harmonica in our face.
Bionicle. Dude, I miss bionicles. Have you ever had bionicles?
How does it feel to be in a partnership with another guy who is poor?
Man, bionicles. We should do, the next time you're here or the next time I'm over there, we should do...
That's a whole podcast video. Is a fucking bionicle sleepover.
Bionicle sleepover.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. We'll invite all our friends. The Bionicles to come. We should make Bionicles and then put on a talent show for them. I'll do my...
What is that called?
Throat singing.
It's like throat singing.
Tuvan throat singing, or Mongolian throat singing.
Tuvan? Where's Tuvan?
Wouldn't you like to know? In the throat,
Yes,
baby.
that's why I asked.
That's true. Anyway, God, our ADHD is fucking wild today.
Tiny harmonicas. I think that people, from what I've seen on the internet, I think that they think that it's what is it called when you have a thing that's the same as somebody else?
Irony. Likewise. Simultaneous.
Likewise.
What are you trying to say?
Saying that people find comfort in the fact that we
Relatable.
are also relatable. Yes, thank you. That we have so much ADHD. I think people are like, oh, it's kind of comforting because their brain works as fast as my brain does. I can
The
finally
speed of
keep up
slow.
with a podcast because Joe Rogan's such a snooze fest. He talks too slow when he's talking about DMT and LSD. Joe Rogan is going to come after us for defamation. Joe Rogan, please don't.
We're in the top comedy podcast as well. We're in that category too. That means it's a joke. Joke, Rogan. Why don't you take a joke, Rogan? Do you think he gets a line like, hey Joe? And he's like, yeah, joke mama.
Joe Rogan experiment.
Tiny harmonicas. Have you ever seen those videos of people like smacking themselves in the shins and I was like, like seagulls? You should do that with your panic attacks because that would snap you straight into something else. You won't be able to think about panic when you're thinking about how out of tune you are.
Also, a harmonica, I feel like, is one of those things where if you're playing it, you can't not be happy.
Yeah, it's like a happy instrument.
So, here's how you benefit off of your depression and anxiety. Alright? It's going to take a little bit of an investment up front because you'll have to purchase some audio gear. But what you do is if you're having a panic attack, you get the harmonica, you start recording. You can record a hit platinum record of your panic attack.
And you could call it panic just... Brandon Urie's gonna sue someone!
Oh my god! But you'll have so much money from your hit record that you can counter-sue for something.
Yeah, Panic at the Club.
Oh my god. This is brilliant.
Yeah, every time you have a panic attack, which it sounds like you're having quite a few of them if you're trying to spice them up with something else, just record that shit. Platinum album. I have a gold record on my wall. I'll give it to you. I'll just scratch out Jacksepticeye and write in Panic Hallelujah.
Yes. Oh, I mean, do we even need to say more?
I think
You
that
record the record, You get it, you know, you can get it mixed and mastered if you want, or you could release it as sort of an acoustic, right?
Yeah. Short answer, yes. Long answer, profit. That's a good idea.
Welcome,
that's
Kiva.
that's great advice.
Don't forget about us when you're selling out arenas.
Yeah.
Worldwide
Panic tour. Oh man, all you have to do is get up and you'll have stage fright anyway.
Oh my god, it writes itself.
My god, that's a superhero in the making. What if it's like the Hulk, but the more panicked you get, the stronger you get?
The better the music gets, the more into it gets.
Somebody out there has to have made like one of those shitty motivational posters that says depression is my superpower.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a thing someone's doing. I'm gonna do it right now. Last one today comes in from Lindsay. They ask, how do I make my friend who's fully colorblind see color? Now we could go the obvious answer with like oh, get those glasses and you can see color, and then we can make a crime video out of it. Like Logan Paul and George Not Found.
So, the colorblind in a basement.
What is the color of blind? Sorry.
That is
not everything needs to be
so
a joke.
insightful.
You just got
So the colorblind thing, right, is, oh man, that thing is red, but I've seen it as. That's obviously how it goes. So, what you do, you rent out, again, this is going to take a little bit of cash up front, so maybe make a lemonade stand.
or get a small loan.
Yeah, get a
Or
small
mortgage your
loan of
house.
$1 million. You get a warehouse, okay, and you commission some artists or whatever to go in and paint their. You make a recreation of their house, okay? It's like the rehearsal.
Yeah.
A whole thing of their house, and then you paint everything the opposite color. It's like a negative space, right?
Yeah.
So then they'll finally be able, and you can do it with like their pets as well. You know, you can paint their dog. So you paint everything the opposite color, so then they can finally see everything for the first time.
Yeah. Just invert the colors. Or invert their eyes. Oh, even better solution. I want to pivot in a radically opposite direction, which is that you don't make your friend see color. You blind everyone else. You make everybody else not be able to see color. I don't know what that is. Blow chlorine in their eyes. Swab them. Mace. Steel wool in the corneas. I don't know what it takes.
It's like what's his face from The Incredibles. If everyone is stupid, then no one will be. So
Yeah.
if everyone is colorblind, no one is colorblind.
That's exactly it. And then you need a cool superhero name like that though. What's his name in The Incredibles?
Syndrome?
Syndrome!
Is it
That's it,
Syndrome?
yeah, his name's Syndrome. So you need an equally cool name got to do with color. Like, oh, Technicolor.
Oh, Technicolor is actually
Yeah. Or maybe just a singular color, like
Pantone.
That's pretty good. You should be called like Crimson or Violet. The Crimson
Cock.
The Crimson
What's a word?
What's a word?
What's in a word? What's a word that describes every color? That's not just rainbow.
Spectrum.
Oh,
Your superhero name is Spectrum. Oh, you should call Spectrum, and then you get sued by the telecommunications company.
Oh, but they fucking suck. I hate them so much. I unfortunately use their internet because they kind of have a monopoly over my
Yeah. It's like the guy in South Park that can't say planetarium. Planetarium.
It's awful. I hate them so much. My internet goes down all the time. They're inconsistent speeds, and they just fuck everyone for their money.
Yeah. It kept going down when we were recording one of the podcasts.
No! I think it might have been like the first episode.
Because that would have taken the steam out of their sails, and that was blind. Well, Spectrum, go out there, blind everybody. Well, just color blind everybody. Don't blind everybody. Because then you have to blind yourself afterwards to balance out the universe. You know, we're talking about a whole Thanos situation here. with one.
Well,
Another cracking episode in the bag.
another cracking episode. I'm so excited that the podcast is actually out.
Yeah. If you guys have any suggestions or stuff that we forgot that we could talk about, or topics that we've kind of like alluded to in the past and that we actually have a forum to do it in, let us know. If there's any stories you want to hear more about in the past, because again, we have monkey brains and we can't think further back than last week. And we forgot most of Creator Clash already.
This is very true. We don't have everything set up yet, so maybe we'll do that today so it's up by the time that this episode comes out. But we don't have a subreddit yet, so we should make a subreddit. Our
Somebody made a subreddit for us already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's just Brainly Podcast, I think.
And then Instagram is Brainly Pod, I think. And
Yeah.
Twitter will probably be the same thing.
If we even decide to, because who knows what will happen there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll pay $1,000 a month and
Yeah. Oh, and then we can get our blues back because we'll be affiliated with it. And then we'll get like a little badge next to our name, like a little brain.
little brain.
That, or I'll do it with coffee, and I'll get a little Sunny next to me. Which one I want? The brain is kind of.
It's the long club. But again, thank you guys so much for such an amazing launch. The next few episodes, again, we recorded a bunch before podcast launch. But every Wednesday, I'm not sure what time the episodes.
I think it comes out at like midnight PST because it came out like I woke up and it was out already, and I was like, "Whoa, why is it out so early?" But I think it's just as a certain time zone's clock passes midnight, and it's out. I think our next episode we talk about like school stories, and we go back into the past and talk about our childhoods and our school experiences. So look forward to that next week. But also keep following, keep subscribing. We also have it on Spotify, Apple, all the podcast places. We also have it up on YouTube with video. We're trying to get video for the other episodes done soon.
But very excited. I'm super pumped that the podcast is finally out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again for all your support.
So give us all your fan art, all your suggestions, all your thoughts. Stay leaky, my leakers.
Hell yeah, baby.
We need to have like a sign where it's like this and it's like dribbles and leaking. Stay leaky.
Or maybe it's like because it's so wet.
Oh, like that's our catchphrase. Our catchphrase is.
We should just do a video episode. I feel like we already made a joke about this, but where the whole video is us just having to fix a sink.
Yeah. Everything's on the table. We can do anything we want. We're two boisterous, virile, horny young men.
What's virile mean?
That's for next week's episode. Something got to do with like virility, like your fertility or something like that. How much cock you have.
That's so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you. Very excited to go on this adventure together.
See you guys next week. And as we always say, stay leaky. That can't be a thing. It's like power numbers. Bye.
Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back
to Nipples. I am flicking my nipples.
For anybody listening to just the audio, Sean is currently flicking his nipples. They're getting harder by the second.
My nipples are SAG, by the way. They're not saggy, but they're SAG affiliated. So
very exciting. Hopefully, we are able to get through this entire episode without my internet shitting the bed. The weather in California is currently very soggy and very wet. There's a lot of flash flood warnings. There was snow near me, which is wild and apparently hasn't happened since the 1950s.
I don't know what's happening. It's like a fucking circus over there.
We're killing our planet! That's what's happening! We've been killing our planet! Woo, baby!
And if you subscribe to the Brain League podcast, you too can kill the planet with two of your favorite creators.
Damn, guys. Isn't it great being alive on Earth?
You know, people go out and they do like, oh, let's like mobilize our audience and clean the beaches. What if we went out and just like had like a methane festival? Instead of like Burning Man, we had like a week long of just burn everything.
We're just out in building parks, just like, hey guys, today we're gonna burn 300 tons of tires.
What's that? The plastic shipment is here. It's just like a big fucking black cloud wherever we are. That'd be sick. Just speed up the process. Let's get it over with. Earth and global warming is like a real will they, won't they kind of scenario. Are they gonna do it? Who knows?
I'm pretty sure we've been doing it.
Wow.
Using our influence for good. That's right, everybody. Go out there and kill the world.
Kill the
faster.
planet. I love Al Gore.
Great. You know, it's kind of like jazz, this podcast. You know, it doesn't follow the rules.
There's no beat to it. Oh, we could have. Oh, back to names. We could have called it the Jazzcast. We did do a photo shoot for it since last time, which editors put in an example, or all of them, whichever ones came out.
And if you're listening to this while you're driving,
pull over. There's a cop right behind you. Watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're just listening, you're gonna have to go to Instagram or Twitter or something. Find Brain Leak. It's a lot harder. I'm sorry, your ears can't see things unless you're Morbius.
That's what's so beautiful about the human experience. You know, we can use this technology to give vision to those who can't see the thing in front of them. We're kind of like Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
you know,
Mr. Ears.
We can describe everything in vivid detail, like they were pictures of two white men standing in front of a light.
Sometimes we lay down.
Sometimes we did lay down. The photo shoot was really fun though. If you've seen the photos, obviously brain leak has to do with the brain. And so we were like, oh, we could do a cool thing with like brain. Maybe we're doing surgery on each other. But then it just kind of turned into like this fake medical podcast.
We had so much medical equipment there. We had like a real bone saw, some forceps.
Mm-hmm.
It was like giant tweezers, a tray, a bed.
It was awesome. Like the production design of it was like really cool, but getting through it, we were like, is this kind of wasted on us because we're not a medical podcast?
Yeah, and then we got covered in blood, and I was like, can we use this anywhere? I don't know. It looks cool, but it's blood, and no one likes blood. Blood.
That's funny.
Which afterwards we got covered in blood, and then we had to take it off, and we were like scrubbing for ages, and we used like 3 creams and sand, and we used everything on our faces to try and get it off. And then our faces were just pink anyway, which was either residue or just scrubbing too hard. And I swear, for like a week afterwards, my skin was all like, oh, I don't like it.
Oh, my skin didn't have a problem.
Oh, well, fucking good for you then, I guess. Under my eyes were just like all crusty. It was like pizza. It was awful. I was like so sensitive and sore. Sensitive boy. Oh, but tell me more about how your skin was great and fine and actually started glowing afterwards, and the acne went away, and we just crossed
I got the acne out of my ears. We had snow in Los Angeles. It was beautiful.
Everything is changing. Do you have hair on your body where you didn't have hair before?
I have no I have no body hair. This podcast is so good, guys.
Were you just gonna say I have no hot body hair? Oh yeah,
hot body hair.
My body hair. Sometimes you just gotta let the bear breathe.
I'm very excited though. It was really fun doing the photo shoots and doing a little promo video. Made everything feel more real now that the ball is rolling.
Yeah, our big beautiful ball is in someone's court, and now it's up to us to carry that game as far as we can. I don't know, we can do it. We're smart, we're intelligent, we're funny, we're sexy, we're cute, we're horny. I am horny for trivia.
That's what we could have made the podcast. We could have named the podcast Horny for Podcast.
Oh, swallow my podcast.
Oh, that was one, wasn't it? Oh, wait, no, it was Come on my podcast.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh, that would have been a very different photo shoot.
God, we're just in big bathtubs of milk.
Milk? Ew.
Yeah.
Would have been better for my skin, at least.
Yeah, it would have. Did you know that any white liquid is milk?
What?
Mm-hmm. The CDC said so.
The CDC.
Any white liquid.
Wait, any white? Is that why you can get away with like skim milk and almond milk? You can't milk an almond.
You can. There's little There's a little guy down there.
Little
Little udders. Yeah, you just gotta look hard.
Wait, Annie White, I'm Googling this right now. I don't believe you.
What? No, that was a joke, 100%.
Is Annie White liquid milk? FDA rules Annie White liquid can be called milk. The onion. Okay, fair enough. Fine.
Good stuff.
You win.
Good stuff. Great stuff.
I have nibbles,
Secrets.
Ethan. Could you milk me?
How much?
Semen do you average?
Okay, here's the question.
Oh.
We shouldn't.
Yeah, we should. Oh, we're in it
What?
now. I've tapped into this game.
What is the average volume of in a
I think it's like a teaspoon is like the average. It's either a teaspoon or a tablespoon. I don't think it's very much.
But that's a really big difference. Teaspoon versus tablespoon. That's
I
huge.
think it's a teaspoon. Because I remember hearing it and thinking, that's really not a lot.
Mhm.
I just do loads.
But a tablespoon sounds too much.
It's not as big as a
How
table.
much comes in the average?
In the atmosphere.
What is the average volume and distance of mail ejaculation?
Distance. Should we have the Cum Olympics? We can invite
I feel
so
like-
many YouTubers.
I feel like Charlie should be at the helm of that.
Yeah, we should pitch him that idea.
A person may be able to ejaculate up to a teaspoon of semen to a distance of a few feet.
A teaspoon. How many milliliters in a teaspoon?
4.9. We'll call it 5 milliliters in 1 teaspoon.
That really isn't that much, but it tracks.
Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers. When we meet up at our garbage burning festival, we can all add to the cum dumpster, and then we'll set that on fire.
Oh, good. We have so many plans for this podcast now.
I
This is great.
know. This is awesome. Brain leak. More like
Mm-hmm.
ejaculate.
This is such a good podcast, guys.
Look, I'm sorry. This is what podcasts are. I can't sit here like kickflip.
Did you ever skateboard?
I tried. Yeah.
I skateboarded for a little bit.
We had a hill like next to our house that was like tarmac or like asphalt, and I would go down that, but it's like every little stone would kill me, and I was very small. I was like what, 10 kilos?
It's almost a teaspoon in the U.S.
I tried ollieing for a while. I'd be in like my backyard and I would be trying to do that, and I just couldn't get the mechanics down, so I stopped.
I skateboarded for a little bit. I landed a kickflip, I think, 3 times.
Damn.
So that was pretty cool. We had this big hill in my neighborhood, though, and if you weren't careful, you'd get speed wobble on that. I remember one time, me and my friends, we took our skateboards and we went down this huge hill, but we sat on the skateboards, and then we all got speed wobble halfway through and fell off, and then just like grinded our asses on the ground. It was great.
Ooh, that's gonna
It was
hurt.
super great and super fun.
I'd look like the surface of Mars after that. Just red and raw, baby.
It was great. It
Yeah, I
was
never
so
did that.
fun.
I like rollerblading though. Rollerblading's tight.
Rollerblade. My dad would rollerblade back in the day.
Did your dad skate? Like with skates?
He did. Yeah.
Did he have like a mustache and booty shorts? Because he feels like the kind of guy who would do that.
I wonder if he did or not. This was when he was going to college in Atlanta. So he might have.
Think
I don't know.
your dad was swimming in muff?
Oh man, was he back then
when he busted out the quad wheels, he was like, "What up?
Damn.
Just gonna go down this ramp." And then his accent changed. He was like, "Pop, shove it. Watch this."
And he just does like a tiny little.
I'm gonna totally like inline gnar on this 420, bro. Ethan, I have a very important question for you. Do you take your health seriously?
Man, I haven't been taking my health seriously. You know, I just been eating lunch.
You silly, stupid little man.
Listen, I just don't know where to start, Sean.
You can start with athletic greens. You can start with athletic greens. Look, I'm Irish. I don't say ATH words properly.
Athletic greens.
Yeah.
What is that?
Athletic greens. Vitamins is a supplemental drink that you can have for your body, whether you want to increase your vitamin nutrient intake, or like me, you got bad bowels, you've been dealt a rough hand. You gotta drink this because it'll fix what's wrong with you.
Oh, man.
It'll fix your face.
Nothing can fix that.
You know, I've been wanting to just... I take a boatload of pills every day. They're so big and I have to swallow them and it hurts my throat. I've really been wanting something that can just kind of combine everything into one easy little powder that I can just add water to and shake it up and drink it and know that I'm getting all of the vitamins and supplements that I need to start my day and feel great.
Yeah, because just one daily serving covers all your nutritional bases and supports long-term good health with 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. 75. You can't even count that high.
No, but I love gut health.
It's easy. It's seamless. It's a daily habit. Get into it. Every morning, or after your workout, or before your workout. Do it.
I'm looking for a simpler, cost-effective supplement routine, and Athletic Greens is ready to give me, or you, a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 travel packs with my first purchase, or your first purchase.
And if you go to athleticgreens.com/leak, that's athleticgreens.com/leak, L-E-A-K, you can leak some fluid into your daily greens and then put it in your body. Can't leak unless you put some Athletic Greens in first.
Yeah, what are you going to be leaking? Just bad stuff. And Athletic Greens with AG1 is going to give it all the good stuff for you to leak properly. Well, good.
And I've tried it. I've had it. I've scooped. I put the vitamins in. Even came with a little dropper of vitamin D. Just want to drop it in. And I get all the nutrients I needed. And I feel better, fresher, more energized. Because all I do is sit in a chair.
Leaky.
I leaked all day.
Leaky.
Go try it out for yourself. AthleticGreens.com/leak.
AthleticGreens.com/leak. Thank you, Athletic Greens, for allowing us to continuously leak into the ether.
My dad told me that when he was in college, because he went to art school in Atlanta, and I was like, what was the coolest thing that you made? And he was like, well, I wasn't able to bring it with me when I moved out because it was gigantic, but he made a life-size replica of a great white shark out of Mountain Dew cans.
What?
Yeah, he just he cut open a bunch of Mountain Dew cans, and he drank a bunch of Mountain Dew, I guess, back then. So he cut all the cans open and then just made a life-size replica of a great white shark out of
It was for the art. I know, I'm drinking it for the art.
shaking like crazy.
Okay, cool, I guess. That's so bizarre and weird. I made a helicopter out of wood for my junior cert, as we call it here. It's like after 3 years you do an exam to prepare you for, I guess you guys call them the SATs. Are the SATs like what you take before you go to college? Like that's how you determine to get to college, yeah. We have junior cert and leaving certificate. So you do junior cert, which is like a mini version of it after 3 years, and then you do 3 more and do the final one to go to college.
But was that a test?
Yeah.
Or was it a project? Okay.
It was like a woodworking exam, so it's like my practical exam. Because it's like woodworking, what do you answer? You don't get theory.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this wood?
The SAT is just standardized testing in the US, and I think they might be changing it now so they don't do them as frequently, because a lot of colleges don't care about SAT scores anymore. It used to be the big thing is you had to do well on your SAT because that would be what colleges looked at. But now they've realized that standardized testing is stupid.
What did you get in your SATs?
So the way that they do it is, and I don't know if this has changed, so it's out of 2,400. Or when I took it, it was out of 2,400. There was a math, a reading and writing, and I think a science. I think I can't remember. But you can take it multiple times, so I took it twice. The first time I got a 15 something, just
I thought that would be good, no?
It's a little below average. It's also hard though because everyone that went to my school was smart.
Or were you just stupid?
This is true. Probably that. No, but I think there was one girl in my grade that got a perfect score on the SAT.
Yeah, there's always one.
I know. And then the second time, I did worse. I got like a 1310, I think.
Wait, second time?
Yeah. So you're allowed to take it multiple times, and then they'll just take your best score.
So like, you could have fucked up that first one. Let's do 2 out of 3.
Yeah, so I took it again, and I got worse. I got a 1310.
Yeah, it's not like that. Wait, is an SAT? Whenever I see SATs in movies, I see people like ticking boxes and filling in boxes and shit like that. Is that the SATs?
Yeah, I think it was through like a Scantron kind of thing. There was multiple choice, and then there was some written stuff. So I remember there was a part where you had to write an essay for the writing, and then there was also a reading comprehension part of the test where you had to read a thing and then answer a bunch of questions.
Right.
I can't remember if it was multiple choice or if you had to write out the answers, but it was just about reading comprehension. So it was like, why did Sally kill her brother? What was her motive? And then you had to say, because you comprehended the reading.
Because he was a son of a bitch that stole all her pencils.
Yes.
No, in Ireland, there's no like multiple choice things, which I feel like there shouldn't be in exams. If you're like to learn something, you shouldn't be able to like guess an answer.
Well, that's why a lot of places are I'm assuming that's why a lot of places are way more lax about SATs, because it doesn't measure your intelligence, it measures how well you can take a test. Because those are two very different things, especially if there's multiple choice, because it's just like, okay, you don't actually know the answer, but you know which answers aren't correct. So it's like, okay, that doesn't really mean that you know the thing, that means that you can kind of figure it out.
For us, it's all like just a shit ton of writing. It's all like essay type answers for everything. And when I was in college as well, it's like you just sit in the room for like 4 hours and you're just writing all day and your hand gets sore. I hated it. And then, I mean, I always did well on my exams, but I remember doing my Leaving Cert, which is like the SATs, and I had like geography as a class. I remember learning like a 4-page essay that I could use for an answer if a certain question came up. And they'd be like, some of these questions might come up for your exam, so like learn these topics. So they would like kind of hint at us before it came up. And like, be in these ballparks. And then when it came to the day, that question didn't come up at all, but I wrote down that answer anyway. So it was like, I think they gave me marks for remembering a lot of information, even if it wasn't directly attached to that question. They were like, yeah, he tried, he knows something.
Did you also, on the SAT, I think you get points for every answer you get correct, and you get points off for answers you get wrong. But if you leave a question blank, then nothing happens.
Just answer the ones you know and then leave the rest blank?
Literally. And that's what they would tell you. They would be like, if you don't know the answer, if you're not firm on the answer, don't put anything. Because if you get it wrong, then you'll get points taken off. So it's like, this is stupid. Also, you get, this adds to the standardized testing is stupid. You get points for putting your fucking name on the test.
They tried. Good for them, you know. Yeah. Ethan Noster. Like, close enough. Give it to him.
Did you guys have to... Because I remember I was always very frustrated about this, and I guess I kind of get it. But with math, they were always really big on showing your work.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, even if you got the answer correct, in my school, if you didn't show the work, depending on the class, but, like, if you didn't show the work, then you wouldn't actually get the question right, because you didn't show your work.
Yeah, because you got certain marks if you got it right, but you got way more if you showed how you got there. So let's say you get 10 marks for the question, you would get like 2 for writing the right answer. You get like a small amount of it, but then you had to show how it was done, because for us, for our math book in secondary school, we had like all the answers in the back of it. I don't know if you guys were the same.
Oh, yeah.
So you could always like check your own work, but it was always about how you did your equations. And then it was like, if you looked at the back, then it was like, okay, 42, great, I got 42, so my solution must be correct. But I fucking hated that. I hated sitting in class, and then the whole class was like, did you do your homework? Yeah, whatever. And then she would go down one by one for each student to be like, okay, we'll start at question number 1. How did you do it? And then halfway through, cut to the next student. And then I was always like, okay, she keeps doing that. By the time it gets to me, I'll be on 13 part 2. So I need to make sure I had that done. And I never had it done. I hated math homework.
Thinking back to when I was in school, specifically high school, I don't know how I graduated at all. Speaking of graduating, I have dreams about high school all the time, and I had one 2 nights ago.
Wow.
It's great. But I don't know how I graduated because I don't really like ever remember doing homework. Like somehow it got done. But I never did work after school at home. Like I would always do it maybe I guess in a study hall or right before class started or something.
I always did mine in the mornings because the bus that took me to school would take us a half hour early.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just go to the library in our school and I would have some of my homework done because I liked English and things like that, but I never had math or French or anything that had those kinds of answers to them. I was always good at bullshitting my way through it. I loved a good story, weave a good yarn. And my friend was always really good at math, and I would always just steal his answers. But if he got it wrong and then I had it wrong, it was like...
Yeah, I remember my teacher in my algebra class, because my best friend sat next to me, and she realized that we were copying each other's homework because we would get the same wrong answer. And she'd be like, you guys sit next to each other. What's going on here? How many people were in your class?
In my class, there was 25. Why, is that big or small?
No, small. I mean, even my class was 140.
Oh, Lord.
But there were schools near us that, I remember my friend that I went to gymnastics with, his class was 400 kids.
You just split it all up between 5 teachers?
I mean, how many teachers did you have in your school?
12? Maybe less? I can't remember. Because there's a lot of classes I didn't take, and then some are counselors and stuff, but not teachers. And...
Wow, yeah, because we had teachers alone, we probably had close to 30.
Oh, God.
Maybe.
And you still learned nothing.
And I still learned nothing.
Did you have any teachers that were super hot?
Yes, my English teacher, so that's sophomore year, maybe junior year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say her name, but I'll say that she has the same last... No.
She has the same last name as William Shakespeare.
She did have she had a lower back tattoo that was a butterfly.
Damn, she a baddie.
Sometimes we'd catch a peek and we'd go, ooh.
Yeah, we had, our French teacher was, she wasn't mega hot or anything, but it was when you're young and it's the best of a bad lot. So for us, it was that was the teacher you couldn't concentrate on because I remember one day she came to